All right. All right. Let's see if YouTube is working correctly. And disco. There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy, the show where we hang out with you amazing and awesome people. And this is a Q&A show for the game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That's right. What we do is we bring myself, the Jackass Ranger J 1999, with a group of panelists, like different content creators and players, on board, and we try to answer questions for the next 2 hours about the game. It can be anything you want, and it's pretty simple format. So far, it's myself and Aldous. Good morning, Aldous. Actually, it's good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry, I was on mute, so I don't talk over everybody. Good morning. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited today. I'm actually more excited than I normally am, so I do apologize if it took a lot. Good morning. Sorry, the question was good morning. Yes, good morning, Ranger.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Wherever you are.
And happy Jubilee. We are celebrating the Queen's Jubilee today, so we are
That's
all...
right. What is it, 50, 60 years?
70 years. On the throne.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean,
she'll go down. She'll go down as one of the...
She's the longest ever. She's the longest ever. I mean,
isn't that crazy?
70 years. How can, 70 years running the country, like not just being alive for 70 years, but actually, I mean, it's insane. It's insane. So we're all having a weekend off, super long, lots of parties, and yeah. So happy Jubilee, everyone.
Yeah, she's a pretty amazing woman. I went and watched a documentary about just everything she went through World War II and her father and just everything. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Happy belated for Monday. You had Veterans Day. Was it Veterans Day?
No, Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, sorry.
Yeah.
Memorial Day. So yeah, and yeah, we send our love to those people as well.
Yep.
Okay.
So the way the show works, it's pretty simple. Just come on in. If you've got questions, then we will try to answer it the best we can. And all you need to do, if you'd like to get one of your questions in and responded to, put the word question in front of your actual question statement. I use Nightbot as a filtering tool, and we usually use a filtering word so I can scoop it up better because chat can be lively and just a lot of people. And so this is the quickest and most efficient way of getting your questions scooped up is to put the word question, space, and then whatever you want to write, question, comments, whatever you want to put in there. So get those in, get those questions in, and we will get them scooped up. And we'll get them answered. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening. We're going to wherever you may be out there in the world. And so go ahead and get your questions in and make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You hear content creators say that all the time. It's true. It does make a difference. Just a little click. You know, it is what it is. Someone said put a comment and I just deleted his ass and kicked him off the channel. It's like, this is sad. This guy's just begging for likes and subscribes, and it's a horrible channel. I'm like, I said it once in the beginning of the stream, and at the end of the stream. What the hell? You know, I feel bad for you. I feel really bad for you. It's stupid. Some people
It's amazing how kind of so I don't know. I mean, people come, they enjoy the content, but like you forget, because I'm a viewer of this show more than I've watched more episodes I've ever been on, and you always kind of get halfway through and you think, oh God, I haven't hit the like yet, and because you don't automatically do it, but it does help. It helps, and it helps kind of. It's a nice metric as to how excited the people are with the show, which then helps your positivity and your confidence and helps everybody else think, oh yeah, that's really good. So it is important. It is important. It might seem like it to other people because it's just more desperate.
It just gave me a giggle, man. I'm just like, oh my God, man. I was like, okay.
Hey, well, you've got to see your hat off to that guy, because that guy you got probably more likes because he said that.
No, probably not, because I responded, so he would see my response, and then I kicked his ass out. I don't have time for that, man. And I was like, okay, I mean, Jesus. Some people, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for that person, because like, damn. Like, you don't even know me. How's this? Like, you don't even know. Like, this is stupid. But that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't have to put up with it, though. So moving on to you wonderful folks in the chat. So we usually kick this off with what's going on, what's on our mind about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I can see the questions are coming in. Very nice. Keep them coming. We didn't get any news this week. We had a minor update, but that was just to fix some bugs and stuff. There was really nothing significant. I do think, talking with Clayton last night, the Big Hearth, that next week we're going to get huge announcements, because by the next week we'll get a lot of the information, because the week for 11 days we should be getting that big title update, and I think there's going to be an assload of stuff in there. On top of, I think next week we'll get the Grand Inquisitor kit, we'll get maybe some other stuff like that. But this week it's just kind of like, okay, can we just get through 3v? I think we're all tired. I think we're a little all burned out on 3v3 GAC. I just think we're burned out, period. Because man, oh man, this has been 3v3 is a different animal there, Aldous.
Well, I've been doing it, yeah. So I've been not real against anyone. I had an incredible match this morning. I actually got to face Rey Skywalker from Exhale from Twitch. I don't know if you know her, but she's incredible person in the community. So it was like somebody you knew that was actually in chat, and that was so exciting and fun. That was good. But I do take a point. I think, I see it a few times that I've started I've been up against people that have been a million more than me, and I've actually not been doing all the battles during my stream. I've been doing like 12 or 13 to the point of where it looks like I'm not going to win. And then I've actually been ending the stream and saying, look, guys, rather than me carry on for the next 45 minutes grinding and then I'll just finish the stream and raid people off somewhere else, which I'm trying to keep the streams down because they are getting a bit long. And I had one on Monday where I ended the stream. But
yeah,
then I actually ended up winning. Later on that night, I had a wee go and I cleared a few, and I ended up in Discord with lots of people in Discord with about 3 minutes to go, and I used a Deathstorm Night Sister team. The guy had an R9 Bosk. Sorry, I've already talked too much. He had an R9 Bosk on defense, and I'd got it down to Bosk and Dad Bod Boba, and I had this G12 Night Sister team, and I'd forgotten that Night Sisters do 5% health damage for Plague. So his massively high R9 Bosk was basically getting shredded due to Plague. And I forgot, you forget these little things. So yeah, so I'm trying to. I fully get the burnout of some people, and I fully get the fact that some streams are getting a bit long. And like I say, I've basically started streaming for about 2 hours 20, and then cutting it, unless it's like high drama. But yeah, Rey Skywalker was incredible. She's an Exhale from the We With Lives guild that I think is Grid's guild, and absolutely incredible person. And yeah, we had that this morning. So we had over 100 people on the beach this morning, which is quite busy. And so the stream's been incredible. So I'm kind of loving it at the moment. We talked a little bit before we started. I tend not to do TW, so the burnout maybe I don't see. TW is probably one of the more stressful elements of the game, which needs a lot more kind of timing and stuff. So because I don't do that, I kind of protect myself a little bit from. I think there's a lot of TWs back to back at the moment, which is very important for. Yeah, which is too much for people that are trying to organize these, especially the levels of strategy that goes into it. And also, but I'm loving it. I'm honestly loving it. Quiet week, and I fully agree.
He's loving it.
we're heading into like, we expect to get a road ahead or something. We expect to get an Inquisitor kit. We expect to have potentially datacrons and data mines, and we'll talk about that coming to the game. So we do expect the next couple of weeks before we get back to that cycle to be quite busy. But and I've got a few hot takes on what. So anyway, lots to say.
There you go. All right. The questions are coming in again, guys. If you have a question you want to post to myself or one of the panelists, and they'll come in. I mean, this is kind of an open where it is people's real life schedules. So for the content creators, they come in when they can or are available and stuff like that. So as people come in, you can tag them if you want for a question, but some people come right at the beginning, some come during the stream. So we'll see which content creators come in. Hell, it just might be me and all this, but I think you're in good hands. All right. Let's see. First question of the day. Andrew Zani question: do I need the third stack of Beskar's Zeta on armor for C? Third stack of Beskar Zeta
No,
on armor.
no. Uh, so the Zeta gives the third stack, and the third stack then gives the retribution, and you don't need that on C. You only need the
You only need
second
the
stack.
two.
Yeah, so I run. I don't think I've got the third stack yet because he's pretty low.
It's one of those things where, you know, especially if you're using it for like a C with Beskar, you'll be lucky if you can get with a lot of especially if you're facing Ray and stuff like that. You'll be lucky if you can even get the damn two on C sometimes. So typically that's, you know, hey, if you can get the three, I've done it, but it's really risky. It's usually just two. Now, I have the Zeta and stuff, and you know, for everything. That's because I'm not always using armor with C now. Usually I'll just go in there with C wide, and I'll use Beskar. I'll use her armor in like especially for a mall team. You damn right you want that, because that's just a total different dynamic of a team that's gonna use it differently. And you can get it off a lot easier because that stupid taunt's flying everywhere. She could become a real problem for you, and she's quite beefy with that team. But for C, I agree with all this. Two's all you need, baby.
Yeah. What else is saying? Maybe it prevents crit hits, but yeah, that also. I mean, basically, like Ranger says,
I'm gonna look at it right now because
the very second you get a shot with armor or you're putting the Beskar on C, you don't risk it.
Yeah, you don't risk it.
You know, the only time you risk it is if you got thrown in there and you can actually do the pass back.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I'd ever do it. But C versus GMK. Okay, yeah. GMK and SLKR, yes. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So so there are some counters.
There's some counters you do want it for. Yeah, that's why I just gave the example of Maul.
But I mean, yeah. I use C versus Ray or C versus Qui-Gon Jinn or C versus Starkiller now. EP Mara Jade Starkiller has been my new C counter, or is what I use C on. I tend to not use against GMK or SLKR, but yeah.
Yeah, it's something you do want, but if you're just talking C, yeah, 2 stacks. Well, yeah, the Zeta is the 3 stacks, grants 100% counter chance. It's important for, like what they just said. There are times you want it, so it's a Zeta that I recommend. But for C only, if you're just not, you don't have the Zeta, if you want to use it, like as a counter, you can get away with just having the 2, because usually, as you know. Get the 2 on C and pray.
Yeah. Probably, I mean, my armor, I think, is only G8 or something. It's such a nightmare to gear. It needs all the. It's one of the first one that needs all the Chirotech, so she got a bit stuck. So mine's still very low.
All right. Let's get to the next question. Thank you for the question there, Andrzani. Buzzsaw question: what character change has been the most A, enjoyable, B, difficult, and C, impactful? What character or change has been the most enjoyable, difficult, and impactful? Enjoyable. Most enjoyable character. I'm trying to think. Of all the characters...
well, look, I don't know. Wampa maybe for C's and most the most enjoyable for me, Vader Rework 1.
That was pretty good.
The added culling blade was to give him. He moved from being a bit of a mid character to being the amazing guy he should have been. That was great. So from a character point of view, it would be Vader 1, difficult Vader 2, impactful Wampa. If it's the game, moving back from 8 to 5 was the most annoying thing. Enjoyable GAC. GAC is probably the most enjoyable. The whole GAC-ness.
Well, I think they're just talking characters, right? Enjoyable. I've had the Wampa's Wampa, but just looking back, I think 2 characters that, you know, definitely Mando, because when Disintegrate first came out, I have not had more fun disintegrating everybody. underneath the sun with that character, and I still enjoy it. The other one's Dark Trooper, just because, my God, when you're Kassan chopping fools, that is just it just gives you the giggles. It's like Kassan chop, and then he's doing it again. It's like, good God, that is ridiculous. Most difficult, Lord Vader. Just getting him is difficult. Using him is on offense is he's not the for a character that costs so much, and he really does. Between having to farm the Bad Batch up and all the relics and sevens and crap that's on him, he's very limited in some of the stuff that he can do. Don't get me wrong, he's still a good character, but I think of just difficulty, farming and using, I think Lord Vader, and most impactful character in the game ever, huh? Boy, there's a ton. If I'm going to give one, let me think about the one that I think's been the most impactful.
I think for me, Treya might be in there. I know we're going back a while.
I know.
Treya or Nest just had completely different kits. They were pretty cool.
I'm going to say it's not a character, it's a ship. It's got to be Executor. Nothing has affected this game, and especially now more than anything I've ever seen, than that capital ship. And we knew it right from the start. As soon as we got the announcement and we saw what that ship could do, we kind of knew how big a deal that ship was going to be. Man, oh boy. I think the most impactful is a ship. I mean, characters, the GLs have all kind of balanced each other out because there are counters to the counters, and all that kind of stuff. And there have been characters that have been impactful, but like the most impactful thing that's come into this game, especially recently, that I can think of that's completely flipped things on its head and has been driving us nuts since, and it's just still meta and still nasty and just ridiculous. It's got to be Executor, and that thing is just, oh my Christ.
When the Executor first came out, I'll never forget. Like there was a lot of early videos, and it really taught in those early videos. Oh, this ship is terrible, easily countered by rebels, and I sat the next day, and I literally
thinking about Star Killer.
I was attacking. I was in my ship shard, just attacking pretty much the whole day, right? And I won nothing. And I was like, this is not easily counterable. I don't know. I was like. Yeah, I totally agree. That ship is probably one of the most impactful things. And it really tells you a lot about, you've got to try it yourself. I'm looking forward to actually trying the First Order counter on Executor because it's one I've never done, but I'm getting there on the echelon. Therefore, that's when I'm going to start. But I want to practice myself and get the feel of it myself.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get into it. I've done it a few times, but I'm still rusty with it. But yeah, we used it yesterday and beat it. So, but you have to have echelon 7 stars because he just won't survive the hits from that. From them, and but it does work. I've done it back to back. I've beaten 2 Executors in a row now with that. So, and I'm going to force myself to use that counter more so I can get the practice in on just getting used to using it, because it just makes your life a hell of a lot easier if you can take out an Executor with First Order. It's a huge investment, don't get me wrong, and it takes a lot to get in echelon to 7 stars, but once you get it up and running, it does work quite effectively, actually.
Mine's 6.5 now, I think.
Yeah, it's 50-50
in there.
Yeah, once you can get them to 7 stars, those stat boots and everything just makes them a little bit more survivable and all that stuff. So yeah. All right. Dark side question: excluding GLs, which single character is your personal favorite to use? For me, it's Darth Vader or Maul. Maul's fun. Darth Vader's fun.
At the moment, Wampa. I just love Wampa. My answer to every single question is Wampa. Most disappointing character when it was launched, Wampa. Most best rework, Wampa. And most about Wampa.
The Omicrons made a huge deal.
Yeah. Let me think of other ones.
For me right now, it's going to be Fennec. I just love Fennec. We kicked the shit out of Vaders and other teams with her, especially in threes. Man, we used her as just as a single attack because she can be used, but she gets massive boost to her stats. And we one shotted someone the other day with just going Fennec solo. So for right now, personal favorite to use. Do love me some Fennec. But then again, the oldies and the goodies, Dark Trooper and Mando, can't go wrong with disintegrations and Kassan chops. I don't know, it's just.
I love a bit of old school GMY and even Hermie. Little Hermit Toad as well is kind of good fun.
Yeah, that's always
and
Gen Luke
yeah,
team is fun.
And the utility of Jedi Knight Revan as well, being able to get around taunts and being such a good counter for so many things in the game.
I know which character.
He's fun.
Another one that I just enjoy using and beating the just one-shotting just ridiculousness. Cam in this 3v3 has been absolute. He's a monster, but in threes he's a super monster. That dude will one-shot somebody on his first turn. It is stupid how powerful Cam is. It's unfortunate that he's a character that takes people forever to get and unlock. But once you get him to 7 stars and you get him to Relic 7-8, he crushes things. It is stupid. I mean, in 5s he crushes things, but in 3s, good God. And on defense, you know, he makes the Bad Batch and the Wampa a 50-50 proposition because you can take out Qui-Gon and Anakin, but, you know, Cam's going to come in there and he's going to hit you. He one-shotted my Wampa the other day, and I just done for Roar, and he was like, yeah, that's nice. You know, just whack-a-doodled his ass, and I was like, God damn, Cam, you bastard. You just cost me banners, you know, so, yeah, Cam's pretty gross. But it's hard to, you know, tell people Cam's great and everything when a lot of them are still struggling to get it because that Cam mission's so hard to get shards for.
That's the sad thing. I mean, obviously, the ability to getting Cam is harder than Lord Vader in time. I mean,
it's just time. Yeah. Well, yeah, the event's pretty even. Yeah, you're right. The event's, you know, stupid hard still too.
We also got Proving Grounds this week we can talk about, but yeah, the length of time it takes to get Cam is longer than anything else in the game. You need a high-end guild, and that high-end guild needs to be coordinated with so
it's not even just that. You can be coordinated all you want. There's just going to be bad runs. The RNG just is not going to let you get it.
I think I would sorry Jack. So I would invite them to add it to double the drops, and you get 2 Cam shards now instead of 1 for TB. That might be a nice. Maybe we're at that point in the game.
I think we are. Yeah, I mean, they need to double it, and nobody who has is going to be upset about that because it's like we've been through it. You know, I mean, it's like I'm all for people getting characters faster. This game is not about the star levels anymore, but it does matter because, you know, for characters like Cam and some of these other ones, the quicker people can get it, they still have to gear them. So that's really where the block is for people. It's you know, especially since they've done expedited farming. So it's time to pick up the pace on all these characters.
Is that one? I mean, that might be one of the only characters in the game that you can't rush. There's only about 3 or 4 of them. So if Jeff Bezos started this game tomorrow, it would still take him 18 months to get there.
You can't, and that's if you're in a perfect guild that gets 50, and that's just not happening. I mean, typically a good run is, I don't know, 35 to 45, right around there is where you know, depending on how many poo-poo diarrhea runs you get, where it's like burn, they all shoot 5s, burn again. You're like, okay, I get it. You don't want me to get that this time. Cool, it's cool.
And you've got to be in that guild, but to get in that guild, you've got to be Cam ready. So you're then talking about having
gas, Shakti clones. You need your life side
Shakti clones. That your
Jedi have to be on par, your Shakti clones have to be up, your gas has to be up and running, your Padme and your Rebels, and what's the other team? Momo, but that's just if you're going to be sacrificing some other team. So it is what it is. Your GR's got to be up to par and stuff, because again, once you get to that level, my guild, we win the battles now. It's just a GP thing. So you just kind of you'll reach that saturation where you're just like, okay, we can go 4 for 4 in phase 4, but we ain't sniffing a damn higher star because we just don't have the GP. It's ridiculous. So, I light side TB. It's going through the motions. Dark side TB the same way. I don't get excited for dark side TB till phase 4, just because it's a little bit of a challenge. But if you like, once you get your count like mine, where you've got all the GLs and it's like Trooper 4 for 4, SLKR Troop 4 for 4, C 4 for 4, and then Lord Vader goes 4 for 4.
Yeah, I auto.
I don't even use Darth Revan anymore.
Well, I always donate the however many 20 or whatever. I always donate everyone the very second the thing goes live, because I already know that we're going to max out. So I always get rid of my Darth Revan team, but then I just do the rest on auto. But you always clear everything, and it's like, okay, fine. Then you just get to the final one, and it's just whether do my guild want me to do the what mission for the get 1 or get 2, or does it want to go for the stars on the middle mission?
Yeah.
And that's about the only one I don't do an auto. Don't tell them that.
All right, let's get to the next question. Andrew Zonis' question: which reinforcement goes first between S1 and IG2K? I run S1 first, I think, but I'm not great at figuring out ships.
IG. Okay. I can't remember. So this is in the Executor lineup. So I presume we've got Houndstooth, Xanadu Blood, and Razor Crest in the starting lineup. I see. I don't know the computer. IG is the best one to bring in, but the computer does occasionally. Oh God, the Go Cubs heard that. The IG is the best one, but very often the computer will bring in Slave 1. The computer doesn't play Executor well.
It defense. Can if it does. Your ho. Well, so here's the thing. If it goes first, a lot of times it's programmed to really kick the shit out of you. It really is. I mean, it just there's nothing you can do. And a lot of people I've noticed in Fleet Arena have been using the offensive lineup where it's Xanadu, IG, and Razor Crest. And if they go first, they almost always go for your Razor Crest and will burn the hell out of it, to where even if you heal, you're most likely you've lost at that point.
Yeah, I saw that on defense, and I did a burner. That's when that if I see that again, I'm running a burner.
Well, yeah, in GAC you can do that, but in Fleet Arena you can't. You just have to basically take the hit and take the loss and say, all right, I have to go do it again. And it sucks. That's the one thing I don't like about the Executor meta right now is that it's a coin flip. I think
First Order will eat that alive.
That one it'll eat it alive, because if Houndstooth. Because you can immediately go right after Razor Crest and keep that ship
or Xanadu Blood or anyone. You can run the Malevolence as well. I think I'll eat it alive because it's going to run the same, but you can
Yeah, but if it's a standard lineup, it comes down to mirror matches most times, and it's awful because it's who gets the coin flip has a ginormous advantage in that fleet. I mean, you can still win if you go second, but it's a lot more difficult to win than if you go first. But then again, there's RNG, and it just seems to me with the meta, and I've been watching this and doing just watching all the battles and stuff. Most of the a lot of times you don't always land the mark and stuff like that. They always seem to get double taps with their ships. You don't. It's just really frustrating. It's like, God bless America, man. It's like this shit's difficult enough, man. You can make it to where defense has your ships are always going to land stuff, and we don't. It's really horrible. So this meta right now, it's just poop.
There was a guy recently on Reddit who did a ship's reinforcement grid. The guy, one of these savants, these people that put out these incredible things. There was somebody, I think, that went through like thousands of millions of battles and compiled all of it to tell you what the priority would be in certain lineups. I don't know. Yeah, it's somewhere on Reddit. The guy had a server on it as well, so and he updated it recently. But yeah, IG, I think, is the worst one to bring in, but it does depend what you've got.
Yeah, it just depends. The fight always goes down to certain mechanics and stuff. But if you go first and you land the mark 90% of the time, you're going to win too. So I mean, it's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. What we deal with. Okay. Bus also. Now, one reinforcement that I would recommend Andrew Zani is even in GAC, I always bring the pita bread because that ship will save your ass. Let's say you go first and you don't get the mark, that you just go through to your cycle and then bring in the pita bread. You'll get to pay out before they will. Most times, and it's just a great ship to have for that lineup. Buzzsaw question: if you could wave a magic wand and have a fully maxed account and a 1 month invitation to every guild in the game except the one you're in now, where would you go? Uh, if I had a maxed out account, I'd probably bump up into Mall one. You know, I'm already in Mall MC, so that's an easy one. I don't have any problem saying that. I mean, I'm already in it. If I mean, I mean, I don't really want to switch. I know everybody in this guild really, really well, even in the other guilds. It's a guild alliance of, you know, tons of guilds. So, I mean, for different levels of players. But yeah, for me, if I had a maxed out account, yeah, I'd probably be in Mall 1 just because I'd have a max account and just go in there and wreck. Although I'd have to think about that one because I'm kind of comfortable where I am, even if I had a max account, like with the guild I'm in right now, because they're pretty solid and I like to help them out. So I don't know, I'd be kind of torn. But yeah, I'd still stay here. I wouldn't go anywhere else. I'm just, you know, not that there aren't great guilds out there. There's Shadowlands and all these other great guilds, but I don't know. I'd have to give it a hard thought process. What about you, Aldous?
It's quite easy for me. Obviously, Go Cubs, my guild leader, the legend, is in chat. So of course I would never leave the Death Star port designers. They are by far the best. But oddly enough, so I was with a guild about 2-3 years ago, and the guild, like, I almost first started with this guild, and that guild, like, we were all together, and then it broke up, and I joined the Death Star port designers, and 2 or 3 of the other people went off in a different direction, and those 2 or 3 people are now in Hoth Ski Patrol. So I'm still kind of in touch with them, who is the same guild as Zolo, Sereth, End All Be All, and so many other incredible people that we know are in Hoth Ski Patrol. So yeah, so JTG, I met him in Singapore. We had a beer. We did a Sith trio, a Sith raid together, and Yoda in that guild. I know them very well. They were in one of my first ever guilds. So I would join Hoth Ski Patrol. Yeah, I think they would be the only other guild I would join at the moment. But I love Death Star board designers, even though I mute them because they talk too much.
Andrew Zani, question: do you think the Lord Vader and JMK kit should have been switched? Lord Vader should have a hard-hitting team right off the bat, and JMK builds over time, from a lore perspective, anyway. No, I don't. It's not. I think the kits are fine in the sense of what their concept was. But I think the problem is Lord Vader's is not strong enough. They need to boost that kit. It just they need to make some tweaks to Lord Vader. JMK is fine. He doesn't need to be dicked with. Leave him alone. But Lord Vader, probably, you know, they did that with SLKR when he first came out. He didn't have the speed and some other things. It took him about a month and a half before because Rey was kicking the shit out of him. It was just he didn't get the speed. He didn't do a lot of stuff. They tweaked his kit, and then SLKR to this day has been fantastic. I think they need to tweak Lord Vader in the same kind of way. He's survivable, but I mean the problem with Lord Vader, it takes too long to ramp up. They need to make him ramp up quicker, and that's the problem with Lord Vader, is that he just takes so much ramping up, and then depending on who you're facing, you know, with the mastery and stuff. Yeah, it's just one of those things that the kit. It's good, but for GL, it's just not good enough, in my opinion.
It's not good enough when it was launched.
Yeah.
For the level of investment it required back then. The fact that the cadence has slowed on GL launches, and we don't have another 2 already, actually means there's been quite a distance for people to actually. So I'm now heavily in on the Lord Vader farm, and he's actually becoming almost a necessary farm now if you want to actually compete in Kyber 1. His kit is fantastic on offense, and he does solo a huge number of things. He is annoying on defense, and you can't beat him. Oh, no, sorry, no, I almost say you can't beat him without a GL. You can beat him without a GL, but he's essentially a very high level trade. So lots of people, you can just lazily stick him on the front line. It will soak up one of your other opponent's meta teams. He just doesn't. His investment is too high. Investment. Sorry, I used a financial word there. Shouldn't.
No,
His
it's
cost.
perfect.
His
It's perfect.
cost.
Yeah.
His cost is too high for what he does. But I think it probably has cost Capital Games more problems than us, because I think they want to see their engagement, their GLs go up and up and up, and I think they went up and up, and Lord Vader went down. So that's probably the reason why we haven't seen other GLs, and we've seen them move back, launching things to Conquest that are great characters like Malgus. In many ways, he could have been a GL, not from a lore perspective and who he could have been. Starkiller could almost have been a GL.
He is, as far as I'm concerned. That dude is ridiculous.
But I kind of feel as though almost they're launching softer GLs without the cost.
Yeah,
and
it's been nice.
They're aiming for a lower cost, lower investment, rather than a single character that And I also think the changes they made to GL don't help them. In that, you know what? If you don't have 5 GLs, you just drop down a bit and you fight. You have equally good battles. You get almost as many crystals, but you fight people at your level. So the push to get the GL, because before, if you were a very high GP but you didn't have the all 6 GLs or 4 GLs or 3 GLs, you'd be getting murdered. You would go 0-12 and you would get no crystals. So you basically needed to farm for that GL. Whereas I think now today, the way that they've done it, you still go 6 and 6. You just go 6 and 6 at a different level. So I actually think that they have potentially shot themselves in the foot a little bit regarding the need for the meta characters, personally. So I don't know. Yeah.
All right, Nathan H. What squads do you use in 3v3 to take out GMK and Lord Vader? For GMK, you can go mirror match. It's quite an easy counter. You can also use SLKR. Daka Zombie does very, very well against that in threes. For Lord Vader, quite a lot actually. I mean, unfortunately, if Maul's in there, it's a little bit less. I mean, JMK will still kick the shit out of a Lord Vader. There's quite a few teams that can kick the shit out of Lord Vader in 3v3. Even with Maul, I still use Fennec, Bam, and Grief on that team, and we've just been beating the ever-loving shit out of Lord Vader's. The only out of all the fights, we've had one it was just bad RNG the way the turn meter worked, where Vader just got the right turn meter and stuff to take out Fennec before I could really get her up and running. But I already taken out the other 2 characters, but it's still a high probability of getting a win on that. But you can never account for RNG. GMK definitely mirror and SLKR. I think C can do it too. I did it. GML. Yeah, GML
GKL, and what? Was that right? Was that the counter I used? I think I did GML, GKL, and what against GMK, and I think that was the one that surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think it started a chance. And Lord Vader keeps damaging me badly in threes, so I started using just GMK. I know SLKR does work, but GMK is what I'm doing. And I love GMK as my go-to versus either GMK versus GMK is very easy. I like that counter, and obviously easy versus Lord Vader. Lord Vader, I do struggle. I don't find Lord Vader bad in threes. I find him very good in threes, and I really struggled. I don't know if it's a modding thing, but yeah, my SLKR struggles. So yeah, but yeah, I was surprised by GML, GKL, and what did it, I think.
Yeah, there's some teams out there, so for sure. All right, let's get to the next question.
Drogan, Epic Falls.
Oh, Epic Fell joined us. There he is. What's going on, buddy?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Well, yes. Can you hear us?
Yep, I got you loud and clear. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hello there.
Hello there. I just want to answer that last question too. The general one is usually with Jedi Knight Luke, Revan, and Jolie as your standard backing if you have them Relic high enough. Yeah. Because you can go after Cat The problem is it's depending on if they have Padme in that group and whether they have Hoda and the other Kenobi, because sometimes you can get stuck with all the freaking foresight and it gets insane, because I've had that happen in threes and it is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's certainly you gotta really look out for like what's on the three characters on the team, right? For instance, and you need certain stats too. We saw last night with Heinze. For me, I don't have any problems using Wampa versus Darth Revan, but if Malik's there, I am not using Wampa. The other thing too is you've got to have high tenacity on your Wampa. Period. End of discussion. Because I'm running around 150%, and you can't. The lower his tenacity, the more likelihood. And you saw last night, they're going to land stuff, and if they land stuff, especially like for Darth Revan, they're not going to stop landing stuff, and then you're going to die horribly. And so, it's just a good lesson out there. So you have to really pay attention to which GL's down and what do they have with it, and understand what you're facing and how to use your counter against it. All right, Nathan H. question: how do you use resistance fleets? Who can they beat? I mean, I typically, sad to say, I use it as a cleanup. It's a great cleanup squad because it's going. A lot of times when you're using it for cleanup, it'll get you that second shot because they burn through all their main stuff. Doesn't matter which fleet it is, except for Executor. Executor's 50-50. But any other fleet, they can, they can do it. But I don't use it as a defense or offensive main team. It just doesn't have it.
I have seen it a lot in defense lately at mine.
I don't get that, man. That is such an easy win. That is so silly.
Well, I will say it depends what you have left. It's kind of like if you don't have a team that can really burn it down, it gets tricky fast. If it all depends if they have GL Ray, right? Because if they have that built up, when you get into those, if those characters are all Relic 5 and above, man, if you don't have a premium fleet, it can go sideways really quick.
I guess. I've just not had any problems with any other fleet. I mean, First Order kicks the shit out of it. Rebels kicks the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? Even Empire can kick the shit out of it because, it's...
I like it as your third defensive fleet. All the foresight is incredibly annoying. That new ship, depending on where you are with that makes it even more annoying.
The bomber, yeah.
That printer thing.
The printer thing.
And, well, the one with the printer name. It's like the Epsom X300.
Oh my God.
Might be Hewlett Packard.
That
thing, that is very annoying. It's more the foresight. So I've been, like I've said this, I've been rebelling it. I do see it a lot in defense. I basically see it as the third team. I did pull it off. It's now come off my defense, and Executor's now gone in my ship's defense. So it's Executor and Negotiator. And so it's now cleanup on offense. But it isn't necessarily a bad third defensive team, especially if people are on the end of their, and especially at lower levels, especially if you have that printer, put it in. The foresight can be very annoying, and it can catch people out.
Yeah, I mean, I could see if, lower GP in the lower Kybers, maybe that could do you some good work there. But
what I like this question, and I don't think I'm really using it to its best. And I think that's the point of the question. I am,
it's cleanup, and it ain't.
I think that is the point of the question: is that where do we use it for its base? And I think it tricks people on defense a bit more than it's useful in offense.
For me, if I see Holdo on defense, I'm just saying, well, there's a free 70-something points for me because I'm going to go in there with one of my couple fleets for offense. It doesn't matter which one I want to go in there and just wipe the floor with it. Rebels just absolutely destroy. You don't even need a reinforcement with Rebels to even with my Biston wasn't even up and running. It still would kick the ever-loving crap out of it because it just
is that with the full bomber at like high relics and full 7 stars?
No, I don't think anybody's really trying to get bombers up to 7 stars yet. But even then, I mean, even the old fleet with the tank.
I faced one.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, and this is where it comes in if you have GL Ray or not. The people who do are going hard in it and putting it on defense. See, right now, part of my issue is I put Executor down because I don't have it 7 stars yet. I have it 6. So it's on defense for me. So I have to 2 or 3 shot if they have a 7-star Executor. So that means I have to be perfect on the other 2. So I think you at Kyber 1 don't see that, but like we barely have enough teams.
That's true.
We pray that you only have to use 4 for the 3 in the cleanup. But if you get to that, try to do that 5th one on something like that, you're in trouble because you only have 3 or 4 ships left with a bad lead. And so that one's a tricky one.
What
if
do
they
you
have
mean?
it right
Mace is
on
great.
defense. Yeah.
Speaking of great, look who it is. It's Warrior from Warrior Presents. Huzzah!
Warrior!
What is going on, everybody?
What's
How
going
are you?
on there, big dog? Haven't seen you in a New York minute, man. How's life been treating you?
Oh, it's been busy. Been shipping one of my daughters off. Another daughter's getting married. Work, life.
Like the way you said that. I shipped one off and I got one married. Good job.
Yeah, that's actually technically shipping 2 off, I think. One might boomerang back after the military, though.
There you go. Yes. All right. We'll ask Warrior. Resistance fleet. Oh boy. How do you like to use resistance? I mean, we're in the same league there, Warrior.
It's 50-50 with that fleet. It's strong, but not the top 3 for offense, and it's pretty weak on defense. But I'll be honest, you can set Negotiator or Malevolence, and I can beat it with Rebels. So we're in the same boat with the Rebels can beat everything. I can even beat the stupid bounty hunters with Rebels because everyone's trying to trick us now, and they're going the three offensive ships in the front row. So if you go a mirror match, you lose, or if you try the first order, that is, you'll lose. And they tricked me once, where that you go in and you're like, oh crap, I got the first order and they have 3 attackers up front. Damn it, I should have paid more attention. But that only works once or twice, and then after that, you just go in with Rebels, and it's about an 80% win rate. But when you win, it's a landslide win with Rebels. If you lose, it's because you didn't get your calls to assist, because that is an RNG thing. So I don't know. We're at the point where Rebels can beat almost everything, and we don't even have that new ship up and running yet, and it's probably going to improve that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about when I'm thinking about the resistance fleet, just all the different fleets, even Malevolence, even with its healing and stuff, even Malevolence can kick the shit out of it, on defense. I just don't like it on defense. I think on offense, it's just a nice ship to have as your 4th fleet when you get to Kyber 1 that can just go in there. If you have a bad run on anything, it can go in there because it can just take the hits and then get to payout, and then you can get the easy cleanup with it. I don't sit there when I'm thinking of counters and stuff. It ain't my first choice. Some of this stuff. I'm like, oh look, it's an Executrix with the new ship. Let's try Holdo here. No, that's bad. Don't do that. That you're gonna have bad results.
I'll be honest though. However, I did go in against and I think some people on lower ends do this, where they send in a trash fleet. I actually sent in a good fleet, but for some reason I just got steamrolled.
Oh, really?
I horrible RNG, didn't kill a single ship. They had full health and protection. I was like, what am I going to do now? Nothing beats Executrix with full health and protection, all ships. I took in Holdo just to see if I could get to the ultimate. I didn't just get to the ultimate. I destroyed the entire fleet. The Holdo's ships, if their initial salvo is expended, can very easily win.
Yes.
And it's amazing how powerful she really is on offense.
Yeah, on offense, I think especially like you just said, that cleanup. Because a lot of times they burn through their initial big salvos and stuff, and they can't really do much until they get back to it. And Holdo can take those hits, especially even the as you call it, the printer there, all this. Even at 6, mine's at 6 stars, and it could take some hits, and it can last a little longer with that. So
I discovered a comedy one where the Holdo maneuver went off. I still won the battle, but it doesn't count your capital ship in the banners. So, like, it's like, oh, by the way, you might have lost the capital ship, but still, here's your 74, 72 banners. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. I love the way they haven't actually noticed that they should take 10 banners off if you happen to lose the capital ship.
I think
The whole,
you should,
it's like,
you should just win life if you get the hold 'em maneuver off for the game. You know, it should just be like, up 75. You did the hold 'em maneuver, free money.
but no, but I have to say the holder maneuver, and I 100% the executrix is all about the initial salvo, like Warren says, and literally the holder maneuver is a lot closer than people think. I think people are thinking they're wiping it, but they're probably only one move away from potentially having the capital ship wiped. It's a lot closer than people think.
Oh, yeah, it just depends on the survivability of ships.
I actually recommend the 3 offense front and then bring in the tank in, because your offense at first has a ton of defensibility, all the deflections and stuff, deflection shields, and then right when you think you're about to lose one, you can heal it with your ship, or you can bring the tank in at the, and the reinforcement on that ship is better. And it allows for you, because of the 3 offensive tanks who actually reduce the cooldown, it makes you get to your cooldown way faster. So the 3 offensive front, bring in the tank, and I don't even know if you need anything more than those 4 ships. You'll
maybe
ultimate.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Just maybe like a wedge. He's really good on that as a reinforcement.
Oh yeah,
out there yeah.
Buff immunity is always good.
Yeah, I like wedge, and also Lando's Falcon, the new shiny Falcon. So I like
where he gets a turn for every reinforcement that's come in. Yeah, that's a solid ship.
Yeah, so those 2 are pretty solid on that, I think. All right. Let's see, Nathan H. question. What do I need to do to work on a GML squad that can beat GMK when I don't have Cam? You don't need Cam. Especially, like, 5v5, you can get away with not having Cam. What's the lineup that we used? It was... Oh, Christ.
Honestly, you can use 4 other junk Jedi that are relics and you'll be fine. But if you really want to overpower Jedi Master Luke, use Hermit Yoda. Not only does Hermit Yoda make the entire team faster, he ends up putting his master's training on everybody also. But when you pass it to him, pass the coin to him, he does way more damage than any other character in the entire game.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can take, tanks down in 2 turns to Hermit Yoda, and it's like, what? So 3 junks, Hermit, and JML, and you can take anything out. Lord Vader's, Jedi Master Kenobi's.
I'm trying to think of the team that I used, and especially in 5s. It was JML, Jedi Knight Luke, Hermit Yoda, Grand Master Yoda, and Jolie as the 5. No, I take that back.
Jolie, if you're going against JMK, is like a must, because you will...
Not Jedi Knight Luke. It was Jedi Knight Revan, because you've got to be able to mark
Cat.
Yeah, you've got to mark Cat. You've got to remember when you're using JML2 that anytime his second ability is up, where he waves and puts the ability down and puts the what's it called, days on the character, that's huge.
Increases cooldowns.
Yeah, increases cooldown, stuff like that. And then you got to rethink your Yodas now too, folks. If you're going to use JML against that GMK, you've got to have high health on your Yoda, because they are going to go after him. They're going to go into ultimate early, and if they do, they're going to go right after Grandmaster Yoda. So he's got to be able to take those hits. He has to. There's just no way around it. But if you got Grandmaster Yoda in there, just keep sending that little frog bastard until you get to ultimate. I mean, that's the only way to do it. It's a frustrating fight, but if you can do that, and once you get JML into ultimate, that's money, because then those AoEs are gonna slowly just beat that team down. So it's pretty nice. I'm trying to think if there's any other variation. Cam is nice on that team. I really like Cam with JML, but if you don't have it, you can use that team.
Actually, the secret he really needs is he just needs to put a Watt. It doesn't even matter if it's a barely unlocked Watt, but a tank tech on JML.
It's nice.
That is a timeout. That is a timeout risk for real in Arena, and is really hard to beat in 5 minutes. But if you have the right, offense with JML, like a Jedi Knight Revan or something, and Plo actually works really well, because he can dispel, and there's so many buffs on JMK's team that
ridiculous.
Plo, with the coin, Plo hits hard anyway. So,
all right, let's see here. Jack Daniels question: if you dislike a character in lore, does it impact whether you use them in the game? No, not really.
Come on, 100%. Always.
I mean, there's been some characters I've done that's like.
I mean, why do you think everybody's going for Malgus? I mean, that's the prime example, right?
Well, no, dislike, not like, dislike.
Oh, dislike.
Dislike.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I think we've all here can say we farmed characters.
Can I say Rose, or is it too soon?
No, it's never too soon.
No, he said dislike.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, I am. No, but yeah, that's the point. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen any of the other. I've only seen the films and the Disney Plus, so I have no idea who this Malgus gentleman is.
Brother, you need to go watch some cinematics.
Well, yeah, but which I learned, and I don't really know who the Light Sisters are or Dash Rend are, so I don't have the excitement. So I am a little bit kind of less invested in what their abilities do, and everybody's like, I like the fact he pulls the Star Destroyer at the sky. I think, oh, that's good. But so I sort of farm them from that on other people's, but yeah, it does kind of, you maybe aren't as pumped early. You sort of, it's like, oh, Darth Malgus has come to the game. You sort of go, okay, let me get my notebook. What is a Darth Malgus? And so you maybe kind of, you look up.
Why is Darth Malgus?
Is Darth Malgus on first? No. Who's on first? Okay.
All right,
no, but you sort of go, okay, sorry.
Crap out of here.
I told you I was excited, but you go through.
Malik on second then.
Stop it! Don't you jump in.
Okay. But like I say, so yes, it does. You maybe don't push for it because you don't really know who they are, but you do kind of know the way that the game is, so you do kind of know these are important. So yeah, it does affect. I would say, I would say I do it.
I would say props to the game makers though, because people who, are fans. I mean, there are people that are like Legends fans. There are people that are SWGOH fans. There are people that are like, just animations, fans, or the original trilogy fan only. Like, they're all fans, right? But this game is melding like all fan base into one, and it makes you a better fan because it makes you more rounded. You get to know all these different characters and ships, and you do your research, right? Because you're like, well, who the hell is this? And so you look and you go in, and I'm like, why don't we have Third Sister? And I'm like, well, that's because she's going to convert, and we're going to have a light side version of her in the game. Anyway, so, there's just crazy things like that, but it just makes
great theory. I've never heard that. Yeah,
it makes you a better, I don't know, a gamer, because you can appreciate the game on another level. How many other games do you play where you're like, you got like a turtle and a rabbit and you're fighting and you're like, oh, this is fun. There's no history to it. It's just stupid characters MMOing, you know what I mean? Like there's no real history to any of that. So I really like it.
Yeah, for me, and I'm you guys all know I've done videos, plenty of them. Lord Junkie, I know all these characters pretty much, like religiously. But a good kit's a good kit, and a shitty kit's a shitty kit, And then when there's sometimes like Krennic, I had to farm him up. If I didn't have him for a geo requirement, I still wouldn't have touched Krennic. Like the character, I think he was really awesome in Rogue One. Rogue One's one of my favorite movies, but the kit for me dictates, a lot of things. I
think the Grand Inquisitor is going to do damage based on how many debuffs a character has, because what the Inquisitors do well, aside from like hitting everyone for 1,000 points a pop, is they debuff the hell out of the other team.
Yeah, they just can't take advantage of it right now. That's a problem with the Inquisitors.
But if you had somebody,
can I go on a rant about them?
Let Warrior finish, and then you can rant.
I was just gonna say, they do every debuff in the game on every character within seconds, but then they hit for like 1,000. So they're like support characters completely. I think if they had a damage dealer that said, do 10% health damage for every debuff dispelled, it would be an insanely powerful team. But I don't know. We'll see when he comes out.
All right, before you rant, Clayton, the Mad Chad lad himself says, howdy, Ranger. The $10 super chat says, how we doing? Also, is that Warrior, the legend Liz? Hope y'all are doing well. We are.
Legend.
So Clayton. All right, rant about the Inquisitors. Go, Epic Fails.
Holy cow. So it's funny. I think it was
Holy cow!
Is the moon made of cheese? Would you eat it? Anyway, so it's funny. I think you said on the last week, they're slow and they need speed. But when you look on GG, Like 4 of them are in the top 20 already of base speed. It's crazy. So on the kit of the Grand, he needs that, but they also need like speed per debuff or something. Like there has to be a speed component where
A
I don't
turn
know.
component. Something along those lines.
Something with that stuff. Almost like GL, not GL Vader, OG guy. But talk about farms I do not want to do and hate.
No, these are
farm right
horrible.
now.
These are
It's
goddamn
those
awful.
guys. Holy cow.
I'm doing
It's
them
a-
right now. I've already got 2 Relic 5, and the other 3, I'm stuck on Cheddar Comlinks. There's that old piece of crap gear coming out of nowhere where you need 1 for each of them right now. It's horrible. The car
They're
techs
not-
are awful. The Carbontes are really ridiculous for this team.
They're not good in 5v5. I figured that out. But in
No.
3v3, they're actually really good.
Yeah,
You
they
can
can
either-
still look good. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do like the 8th brother or the 9th sister lead or whatever. And they do very well. I've gotten a few holds from that team because people just like, what the hell do you use against it?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever seen it. And so they throw something against it, it doesn't work. And there's not really much data on SWGOH. And those people who go against it, a lot of times they have a GL left. So there's like, screw it, I'm not going to take any chances. So they throw a GL. So the data is corrupted because it's showing all these like overpowered teams that you don't need against them. So, and they're very durable. They're very durable. It takes a long time to chew those teams down.
I mean, and they have like, Ninth Sister's an incredible tank. She really is. That is a beefy girl. She can take some hits. And then of course, Second Sister, the ship she has, the prototype, I mean, that thing's ridiculous with
Yes.
Empire. So there are uses of certain characters in this team, but when you put them together, and especially in 5s, it just gets its ass kicked. It's not fast enough for the fast teams that get loose. And it just can't, if it can't control the team, and if it's not Jedi, they're just in trouble, because even with the debuffs, there's these teams cleanse, and they just get ahead of them and just beat the living snot out of them, and it's unfortunate. So
I think Purge doesn't do enough. Like if Purge had a turn meter removal or something, which you would think it would have. Like, could you imagine if you started stacking that and did it? Like that would have made the team like the difference in between.
Well, that's the thing. Grand
Mhm.
Inquisitor's missing. I don't know if you remember Sith Empire, but before Malik, Sith Empire came out, and we all kind of
we're like,
I mean, it's okay, but they're not really
Yep.
that good. And then all of a sudden they brought Malik out, and he was the linchpin. And now when you have him in the team, it's like, oh my gosh. I think that's what it is. They're all like pieces of a puzzle, but we're missing the centerpiece. And
Yeah.
once we get that, the whole thing's gonna, splay open. So I'm excited about him coming this, month. But
Yeah,
end of the month.
we'll do the event and we'll look at him. We still haven't got his kit yet, so we have to look at his kit. And I'm hoping that, I don't really think they need the turn meter or anything for the purge, but the damage has got to be there. If they can control and damage, then speed is secondary, because they can take hits. It's just they just don't hit back hard. It's just like, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed too.
the wet noodle.
It's
I got huge props this morning for using CLS against it and using the lack of CG tagging CLS as a Jedi against them.
Yeah.
But I would like to flip it back to Jack Dill. Sorry, just quickly. I would say it's maybe the other way around. He said, "Do I dislike a game? Do I dislike Actually, when I like a character in game, it makes me go back and play the game or watch the thing or research them. So I actually find it flipping for me because I don't know them from there. When I see a character I really like, I'm like, oh God, you know what? I want to go and watch. I want to go and watch Malgus. I want to play that game, and therefore it actually drives engagement in the opposite direction for me."
All right. Let's see here. Nathan H. question: what the hell is he talking about here? Oh, what mod and relic levels do you need on Daka and Zombie when they are with SLKR? Currently, mine are not good enough.
So I can tell you, I can tell you at low, I just got the, what is the terrible event where you need the Night Sisters?
Oh, the Salt Battle, whatever
Secrets
that
and
thing
Shadows.
is.
Yeah.
Secrets and Shadows. God bless America.
So I finally got to the one where I got the Kairos.
Yeah, tier 1.
Oh my God. I didn't even want to go on, but I finally got my, I finally got my Daka to R2, and I took the zombie up to R12, because in a lot of those things, even though paper zombie is better for the rest of the crew, you need enough health and protection pool to take the hit so it doesn't die. You know, you get those random ones where it doesn't die on the first hit. So when you're doing that, I think somewhere in there, like Daka, I would take one of my next projects is 5, because you want her definitely for the hard rancor. But I think around 3, and then the zombie is just, you have to play with it. It depends on your mods and stuff, but I would say you definitely want it into the gear 12 minimum. But eventually you want to take that probably up to R5 too for the other things.
Well, I think Daka, I think G12, I think you want Daka to, you want zombie to die often.
Yeah,
I think
the gear 12 zombie is
so gear 12 zombie is better than R5.
That's the one I use.
So you don't want to. We're in another situation where you don't want to relic your zombie. I know it's not a total paper, but you want zombie to die and then come back. And I have R5 Daka, and that works perfectly. So.
But you have to mod her correctly too. You need health mods, and if you can get 60 on there, because that's just you need that giant health pool.
Yes, you need over 100,000. 120 is better if you can get somewhere in between those.
I actually have done that assault battle. You know, the last 3 are the hardest. I did section 1. I've gotten through section 2, and I've gotten on section 3 all the way to where I have survived 2 AoEs from the 4th round, frickin' Sidious, and almost got him down. He was just a little bit away. And the absolute secret, this is unequivocal because it made round 1 and 2 really easy for me, is I thought, you know, every time someone dies, she gains health. And so I have her Relic 8. I have her all 60 with health, and she's around 170,000 health. And I did basics only. I did basics for round 1, 2, and 3 only, like basics only, because you do kill them, and you only use a special like a heal or something if old Daka is starting to be targeted specifically to keep kind of in the good. But I do basics. It takes like 20 plus minutes for round 1, 2, and 3. But in round 4, he'll start out with his AoE, and guess what? It wipes the board but her, and she revives everyone. And then if you've got Talia, you can cleanse off any of the other debuffs. But he has really high, he's like 100% health. Like his protection is almost nothing. His health pool is massive. So the plague kills him insanely fast. So the moment you survive, it's special. He gets like 8 plagues and he just falls over before he even takes a turn. And so it's all basics only for rounds 1, 2, and 3. And then in round 4, you survive it. You are gonna, and you want to die a lot in round 1, 2, and 3. Like everybody needs to die all the time, like 100 times. And then Daka she takes it like a champ, man. She takes that hit and survives, brings them all back. You do specials. The specials give plague, which causes the death. And I always run MT first, and I have almost beat tier 3, and I only have like Relic 3, Relic 5 on most of them, but I have my Relic 8 old Daka. So I do believe I'm going to get it in the next month or 2 because of that strategy.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean,
R9 Daka, baby.
No, don't say that. All right, Neo Venom Ranger, can you check general chat and Discord? I posted a pic of something I would like you to see. Okay, let me go look real quick. Nice. He's got all the EU books on his bookshelf. That's sexy. I like that. That's nice. I like that. That's nice. That's real nice. Thank you for that, Neo Venom. Nathan H. question. Involving no spoilers, is Obi-Wan episode 3 one of the best TV series episodes you've seen? I was impressed. I mean, I've seen it. I thought it was incredible. I really love this series so far. It's been fantastic. Hugh McGregor is just mwah! Could just watch that man just oh my god, he's incredible, and he's just killing it in this series. I don't know if you guys seen up to episode 3. And just general thoughts. Are you liking it, not liking it, loving it, not loving it? I think we're
I love it, and what I love doing is I love going online and reading all the critics being critical because what's funny, for example, there's memes already, and so really quick, I'm not going to say anything important, but small spoiler, there is a scene where there is a gate That's a laser gate.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just walk around it, he destroys it. And everybody's giving him crap for not just walking around it, because there's literally desert on both sides of this gate where like, so a bunch of things. He's a Jedi, right? So he's about good, not evil. And this is an evil post that is gonna, it literally has lasers that can cut people in half. So it's like, why wouldn't you destroy it? If I was in his shoes and I was the righteous guy and Jedi, and I come stumbling across this, I wouldn't want anybody else to have to do it. I would want to disable this so it creates free passage and travel for anybody, and you destroy a checkpoint. It's not about me being selfish and getting away. It's about me permanently disabling the opponent. So this criticism that I hear a lot, it's like, it's not even, it's so superficial. It's not even,
there's a lot of superficial stuff.
It's knee-jerk reaction. It's like, oh, that's not the way I think I would have done it, and then they're mad, and it's like, come chill out, like let them have a little bit of creative experience, and I can see how something would go one way or the other. Just relax. People are so quick to be critical, but there'll always be, in the world of the internet, there's now always going to be the trolls. It's just a forever new thing for our lives. For the last 10 years and for the rest of our lives, it's going to be trolls online. And that's just something other generations didn't have to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. So, I mean, I think the series is fantastic. It's just, I adore it. I think it's brilliant, and I'm really enjoying the hell out of it. I don't know what else to say. It's just, it's
well,
really bloody good.
I wasn't listening to Warrior, but I would like to disagree with everything he said as a troll. No.
All right, you son of
100%. No, 100%. It is incredible to have any amazing Star Wars content. It is incredible. And they walk a very, very difficult tightrope between people that know lore so incredible and are watching every single thing a million times, and they critique the tiniest little thing, but they do an incredible job with it, and it is incredible. And I'm excited where they go with it. And I agree that there's always going to be, Taylor Swift said it, the haters will hate, but it is incredible. It is incredible.
Jesus Christ.
It is gonna hate. I got Taylor Swift into the Jedi Academy. 100%.
Dare you.
It is brilliant. It is brilliant. I can't wait to Wednesday. I can't wait to. It is brilliant. It is the highlight of every week, and I think they're doing an incredible job of it. And can I give a shout out to Ewan McGregor, my Scottish brother, who literally can cut up a fish and still it's washable.
And that is
like, and he cuts up a fish in such an incredible way. It is brilliant. Every single thing is amazing, and I love it. I love every minute.
He's so that good. Fish or Ronto? I assumed it was like Nerf or Ronto because it's tattooing, or even Dewback for that matter.
It could be any meat. We don't know.
It's a fish to me. It's a fish to me. I don't know. It's
whatever it is. It's food.
Sure, it's really tuna, but
Well, whatever. All right. Andrew Zani, major question. What are your thoughts on Proving Grounds as a way for people to catch up on Conquest tunes? If you don't have a lot of shards already, is 2 years to unlock one character too much?
Can I rant on this for a second?
No, you already ranted before. You have to wait. We gotta let other people rant, like me. So we did do the Proving Grounds. It was kind of funny that we were supposed to not be able to do it if you already had the character and stuff, right? So it was shocking that I was able to go in. So I went in there and tested everything. Most teams got its ass handed to it, and I was getting a little worried because I'm like, how the hell are people supposed to go? I'm just like, I'm not going to do GLs, right? But I'm just going to do these other teams. But then I got a little bit of positive back because CLS kicks the shit out of it easily. Gas kicks the shit out of it. Darth Revan did quite well. So I was like, okay, if you got some of these meta teams, you can go in there and beat this, with relative good Relic levels, right? Because they're going to be Relic 3 anyway. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But still, 4,400 crystals, right, for 40 shards. I mean, you get 50 on a marquee character for 4,000. It's just and this is not like these other characters too with like marquees. Not
premium. This is a year later. You know what I mean? It should be 80 max per crystal, but really it should be 60.
Agreed.
At that, if that. I mean, and the truth is, because this is a year later, and they're like, you try and get them, it shouldn't even cost anything. They should have just a 2 refresh maximum on each section, and every time it comes out, you can get an extra 40 per character. It's been a year. Come on.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're trying. I mean, Someone explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old. I don't understand the price point cost of this. I know it's Cat and I know it's Razor Crest, but what are we doing here, folks? I mean, this Warrior's 1,000% right. It's been a year. You know,
the only thing I can think of is that this is the new GL route, and therefore the new GLs are going to come through Conquest, and therefore they're going to be gated behind the refreshes, and we're kind of in the middle of this weird phase. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, 2200, we cover this every week. 2200 for Proving Grounds is insane for Cat. It's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. And why have they limited it to 2? What, they're frightened somebody might do 10 refreshes and give them 220,000 million crystals? Honestly, it makes no sense to me. The way it's set up at the moment makes no sense. I hope in the future we're actually going to get the GL level characters, which used to be called GLs, maybe who knows what they're called. But now they will come through Conquest, and this will start to become the route to get them more long term, and you won't need the 13 people for the 1 GL. You just need to do the Conquest, and then if you miss the Conquest, and then the Conquest will get progressively harder. Something in that space would be my, but I don't know. But it's insane. It is absolutely insane.
All right, go ahead and rant there, Epic.
Oh dear God, this thing is a freaking mess and a nightmare. I wish they would have let us do it, because so I have my main that's 7.1, right? And I have an alt who's just above that 4 and doesn't really, I do a little conquest on the alt if I have time, but not really. So I was looking forward to doing this with that, because I sneak in, and on that one I have some pretty well geared Relic 3 and geared stuff. So I did it with my main, and that second one for Cat, I took in GL Kylo, and I have a really good one, really fast, really modded. And he was the only one left, and I barely won it. Like, he was in the yellow to red. If I hadn't had an alt at the right time, I would not have gotten through that. So, like, this isn't just, like, having those squads. You have to have a relic. You have to have a modded. You have to know what you're doing. And here's the thing about this, and I'm gonna be like Arnold and put my conspiracy tinfoil hat on, because I have a feeling with what got leaked and what this is now. Okay, so check this one out. I think these new Omicron Chromie things are going to be active in this event, because if you notice, this is really a conquest where we don't get the things to boost up our characters, but they have those special abilities.
Oh yeah,
and those special abilities.
This is definitely conquest level, Sector 5 boss level stuff here, man.
But we don't have the buffs of what are the things we get in conquest to buff our teams.
Yeah, we don't have the
data discs or whatever.
Yeah, the data disc.
So I think we're going to get some kind of data disc that we have to buy or spend or get somewhere else.
I hope to God that's not the case. That would be awful. I don't think that's.
Well, think about it. I could not even kill a character with my 4.1 account in either of the two to get the Razor Crest or the ones. And not that I have great stuff in that one, but like even because I'm working to SLKR, I have an R7 unmasked Kylo. He just got shredded even in that first one. How is that even possible? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
you try to debuff them and it goes right away. They don't even lose a full turn. Like, there's something else to this. And I think that's why it got messed up and all accounts were allowed to do it, is because a component was missing. You know how they write the code. Like, there's something more to this that is coming. Because
I hope not.
I think
no one who doesn't spend can win it.
I think that datacrons will be essential in every event, new event moving forward. That it'll be an event that we used to, when we got an event, we'd play it, we'd win. And then they made it to where you had to be Relic. And then they made it to where you had to be Relic 5. And now they're going to say, yeah, if you don't have datacrons, you're probably not going to win this. I think that's what's going to happen to all new events. He's probably right.
It could be the case.
Because it's a monetization thing, and it's so stupid.
It really is. It's just not something that is. I mean, what is the fun in that? You make something difficult and say, this is almost unbeatable, but we'll give you the stuff to make it beatable. What? This is like.
Yeah, I hate myself. I was punching myself in the head when I thought of that.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
Can I talk about the Arnold leak? I watched his video. I have an interesting take on this. So, people that know my channel, I do a lot of video editing where I muck about with SWGOH and put myself into SWGOH and sort of stuff. On the 1st of May, I made a video where I put Slave Leia into the game. Okay. So I had a 3-dimensional Slave Leia, fully modeled. It's gorgeous. I have a Discord clip.
Sure.
I have a Discord clip of a fully.
Were you the sandfly in the sand?
All right, let's not get to that story.
Okay, but what I do is so I record SWGOH and then I edit out the character and I put in the other character. In that video, it cut to that same Relic 10 image that he had in the bottom corner. So what he's talking about there was in the game on the 1st of May, and I checked the timing on when I did that. It was the 1st of May. So the people that watched this video yesterday thinking, oh God, they've just had it. No, that's been happening since the 1st of May. And yeah, literally I have, I'm not it doesn't prove anything other than it's been in the game since the 1st of May. It wasn't added recently. And anyone that wants, I can send them the modded Slave Leia.
I don't need to see Slave Leia. I'll just get sad.
It's true. But the fact is that bit where it goes onto the character screen and it cuts to Relic 10 in the bottom left as a placeholder thing, that's been in there almost as long, certainly since the 1st of May. I don't know how long before that. But yeah, so it's not been added. That bit has not been added in the last week or two. So Relic 10 is not part, and I'm going to put my hat on this and put my Relic 10 is not part of what they're about to announce, because that has been in the game, or because that little placeholder, that has been in the game since before May the 1st. It hasn't been added recently. So yeah, I just wanted to tell people that incredible video from the Arnold man, and we love him. But yeah, what he was sort of pointing at being Relic 10's added now, it's been in there since the 1st of May.
My guess is that 10 came in with Relic 9. I think the way they rolled out Relic 9, they wanted to get to 10 fast, but it's been such a cluster that because only certain guilds can get, and
I think it's been a placeholder, and I actually think what they've done recently in the coding is that every time it goes into a screen, it's checking something else. And therefore, it's going slower from where it starts to the final screen. So there's now this little pause. And inside that pause, we're seeing the A-Wing and the Relic 10. We're starting to see placeholders in the single frame between the start and the next bit. And therefore, I think we're not seeing anything. They've not changed anything. This has all been in the game for a long, long time. When you look at the data mine of the A-Wing, which was supposedly being added, that artwork had been in the game for years. So these, I think, are placeholder artwork. And what they've actually done is they've changed the mechanics. So when you click from screen to screen, it's checking something else. And that's taking a very, very long time in the coding sense. And therefore, the artwork on our game is showing us the placeholder before it goes. Anyway, Warrior's nodding, so I think I'm on the right track. Warrior is a more educated man.
No, you're 100% right. But I do think when Datacrons get rolled out, Relic 10 will be rolled out, because I believe Relic 10 won't be available to get except for through a certain game mode and with a certain set of Datacrons on those teams. And the worst part is people are going to pay to get Datacrons and they'll be the wrong ones. And you'll have to figure out which team and which Datacrons combine to actually pass to get those Relic 10 pieces. And then once we know, we'll share it as a group, because that's just what we do. But there'll be people that spend on the wrong Datacrons and stuff. It's going to be a mess.
It is, because you have two moving targets, right? Because they disappear after a while. That's the crazy part. I mean,
yeah, but it'll be the only way to get Relic 10. They'll put it behind that gate, so then you have to do Datacrons. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, we're not doing Datacrons. They're like, well, yes, you are.
No, they have to open up 9 first, and I don't have a lot of trust.
No, they don't.
No, they won't.
Relic. So this is the deal. Up to Relic 7, they are all about it, but 8 is still a moneymaker.
Yep.
9 is still a moneymaker,
Yep.
and 10 will be a moneymaker, and they aren't going to let up on Relic 8 even.
Yeah, people can't
there
do
are
Relic
so many
8s.
characters I want to take to Relic 8, and I have like 30, 40 pieces, and I have to save them to get other characters to Relic 9 when I get them.
Right.
And I don't even have enough for those characters, let alone new side characters. And I'm not going to spend, $1,000 on all those packs, those Relic packs, to make sure I have all the Relic pieces in the world. Like I just can't do that. So,
Yep.
won't. I'm not going to do that anymore. So
no, it's not. It's just. And it's a great point. To get to Relic 9, you have to get to Relic 8, and getting Relic 8 is awful. And then you go through the awfulness of taking it to Relic 8. Then you go right back in, and it's even worse to Relic 9. It's 260 of those right side furnaces, data disk, and the other thing, the sun gun. And those are major pieces that you could take 2 to 3 characters up to Relic 0.
I just remember a conversation I had with them. I was the first visit I ever had with them. We were doing a tour, and they had or Gear 12 out. It was the highest you could go in the game. And they asked me, they said, how many gold characters do you have? And I said, all of them. I took every character to gold. It's the highest they go. I was I was a Kraken back then, and I was like, I got them all. And they were like, see, in the future, we're going to make it where that's not possible. Like, we don't want everybody to just be able to spend to get every character maxed out. We want to have it where there's a tier system where there's only a few characters at the highest end, then a few more, a little extra here, like a pyramid. They explain that. And I thought, that's stupid. I want to be able to play and have everything if I have the money. But
I don't understand that.
Even if you have the money, you won't, because their idea is a pyramid scheme. And it is true. If you look at your roster, you have like a Relic 9, or if you're really lucky, you have 4 or 5, maybe, or 10 or whatever, but you only have a few. And then below that, Relic 8, you maybe have 20. For some people that have 1 Relic 9, they'll have 10 or 8 Relic 8s. And then you have Relic 7s, which you might have 40 of. And then you have Relic 6 or 5, and it's this pyramid scheme, which is exactly what they said like 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, that they wanted to, that was their desire, because they wanted there to be decision making, not like, oh, I'm just going to take them all max. Like, which one are you going to take max and why? Like, they wanted everyone to have to cherry pick certain pieces. The problem is they then make certain characters more important.
Right.
So then we don't get to choose. They're making us choose. They're creating the meta, which sucks.
But then the other problem too, now, especially with GAC having crystals, the stopgap between people that want to be competitive in there is gear. And, you can have all the Relic 0 characters or Gear 13, whatever you want to call it, you want, but you start climbing up the ranks, and you need those certain characters like GLs and stuff. It's even more prevalent in 3. If you're out GL'd, you're in big trouble, because in 3s, GLs are just way more powerful than they are in 5s, and less counters for them too. But it's just completely asinine to me that, you have to go in there to take a character to Relic 0, right, to get it to go up to relics, and then go right back around and farm the same materials that you can't use on another character if you want to take them to higher relics. It's just completely ridiculous. It completely is counterproductive, and you want people to do these game modes, but if they can't be competitive, they're going to get frustrated, they're going to get burned out, and they're not going to want to do it, and they're not going to want to play this game, because what's the point?
I honestly think they might have broken their own system. Like what I said earlier on, I'm in Kyber 1, I win the same number of crystals as Ranger. If I win or lose, and every day I get the same number of crystals. I'm like 5,000 places or 4,000 places. I don't know where I am, but I am below him, but I get the same. And therefore, you know what? If I choose not, so I have no R9s because I don't play TW. And R9s are locked behind TW, so I don't have any R9s.
Agreed.
But the engagement in the game has dropped so low that I don't need R9s, and I'm now 4,000th in the world, and I don't have any R9s because I don't play RW. Engagement on Datacrons will be even less. Actually, to be honest, unless they squeeze Kyber 1, everyone CG, move away. Unless they squeeze Kyber 1 down to only 100 people and give a lot more crystals to those, they're actually cutting. They've put too many people in Kyber 1, and therefore, the engagement's too low in their new expendy things. Therefore, there's lots of us just hanging out in Kyber 1, going 3-0, 5-5, 6-6, and God knows what record is this week, that are getting the same number of crystals as the people at the very, 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 very top. I honestly think they've broken their own system. So I genuinely think they need to rechange what Kyber 1 is and let only 100 people into it, and then have Kyber 2 with only 500 people and start spiking them. Otherwise, there'll be no engagement in data. I'm not going to bother with data.
You're right about everything except for them changing stuff. Don't change it. Like I love sticking around 4,000. That's where I'm at, and I can go 3 in a row if I want, or I can dump and not play at all and go 0-3 and if I'm busy that week or whatever. And I get the same number of crystals. I sit around 4,000. The competition's stiff. It's nice. It's fun, but it's not stressful. And I don't want to be up at 4,400 or 4,300 with the top 50. Like that's to me is not fun. That's stressful because you put all this stress on yourself. Oh, I got to win. I don't care. I don't care if I win or lose. What I'm trying to do is have fun.
And that's my point is that we're all enjoying it down at the 4,000. We're getting,
but don't change it. I like that.
Yeah, no one change it, but we're enjoying it. And because the engagement is so low, and I only have 5 GLs, I don't have Lord Vader. Because the engagement is so low and the engagement with Datacrons might be even lower, we don't really care. We're still going to get the crystals. You can still get in Kyber 1. Come and chill out with the 4,000s like us.
Yeah, don't be top 500 like me. It's stressful. That's a bad play. Clayton could tell he was in their top 50, and oh boy, he had a rough week last week. He went over 3, and it was he's like that. They hurt me, Ranger. I'm like, I know. And that guy's 10 million GP, and it was just brutal, man. It is brutal. The higher you climb, it just you got to be competitive and want to be there, because if you don't, they're 2 good players. They're more engaged, and they are going to slap the shit out of you, and you just be prepared for it. All right, let's get to some more questions here. Let's see here. What? I'm not answering these silly questions. Get out of here, you guys. We're trying to get these slug of questions. Jesus. Is it proper to eat a scone warmed or at room temperature? Get out of here, youths.
Warmed with warm butter.
Get out of here. Let's see here. Question. Which 4 Jedi with Watt to beat JMK? Well, JML Watt. Who would you bring in there if you were going to take JMK with JML against JMK with Watt? JML, Watt, and 3 other ones, really. I mean, I still like Hermit Yoda.
Yeah, you need Revan for sure, and then that last one doesn't. Like you said before, you can do Grandmaster, you can do Jedi Knight Luke.
You need a heavy hitter in there.
Yep.
But so yeah, either Grandmaster Yoda or Jedi Knight Luke. Somebody that can hit hard. You got to have that damage on that team if you're going to put Watt in there. It changes the dynamic of the team, because if you're going to bring Watt in, then that means probably not going to bring in Jolie. You're taking a gamble there. Any other suggestions from the pen on that one? Okay, cool. Let's see here. Nathan H. question: which version of Leia would you prefer as a GL? I want Endor Leia. Well, I mean, we all want Slave Leia, but we're never going to get that, so that's out.
Talking about Endor Leia, can I say something real quick?
No, you're on a show where we don't talk about stuff like that. And of course, man. Just speak your mind, man.
Is it funny? And I'm trying not to spoil the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Don't even go that route.
I do really. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, outfits of young Leia, outfits of older Leia. Is there a connection? I'll leave you with that.
I'm trying to think. I haven't really been paying attention to the wardrobe.
Poncho in the second episode through
yeah, in certain parts, yeah. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I really don't know. All right. Question: which comp are you using in 3v3 with the First Order TIE Pilot Omni? I do not have the. Anybody got the new Omni?
I sure do. And on my YouTube channel, I post videos of it.
How's it working out? Are you using it for offense or defense?
Offense.
Okay, offense. So typical. Okay.
You can. I have faced it on defense, but the problem is you really need a tank. So you're kind of stuck with having to have unmasked Kylo in there, because it kind of works just like Zam, right? It just has different mechanics. So if they're able to take out the TIE pilot really quickly, it's not going to hold up on defense.
Right.
But man, it is great fun. I can't wait till 5s. It is great fun in 3s.
Okay.
I faced the Dash team without the Omicron, but like I ran circles around it. Like they basically didn't get to go once you get the train going, and that wasn't even a great one. I think it was just Hux and the 2 pilots.
Right.
I've used them with the Stormtrooper, and that is awesome because if you get his taunt and they're hitting it, he's firing back too with the retribution, and then Hux gives the retribution, and it gets crazy when they start firing with all this retribution. You're almost not attacking and killing things. I've gone the hardest one I tried to do was kind of like a rebel team, and that gets tricky because if Han's in there, he can stun somebody early on.
That's a problem. That team's always going to dick you up.
Yeah, and I think you can do it with 5s because you can have unmasked Kylo with the unstoppable stun. But the thing you have to remember is also I took it against the 3-Pac, and because of his cleanse and his whatchamacallit that makes you miss already.
Right.
Like you have to remember, you have to really kill him or stun him, or otherwise it can go sideways really quick. But man,
overall, you're saying it's pretty good. Okay.
Amazing fun.
What do
you,
what do you think, Aldous?
Worst Omicron in the game so far for me. I listened to everyone. I tossed on defense. I stuck it with KRU. So then I took on offense against Starkiller. I pushed Go on the battle. Starkiller took a turn. Emperor Palpatine took a turn. Everyone disappeared.
You can't judge and take it against one of the one of the characters that are like a GL. You freak.
No. But apparently, everybody said this is auto. You just take it in. You just take these people. You stick it on offense versus Starkiller.
You gotta look at
win.
Speeds and mods too.
Okay, but that's too complicated. That's too complicated.
It's too complicated. It's part of the game, you mutant.
I've relegated them to defense now. I've stuck them under Phasma, so he gets the automatic advantage. I just don't want to break up my Hux team. I know, look, my Hux Trooper and the other one
right off,
do God's work.
That's still a really solid team.
They do God's work. So I don't want to break that up. So at the moment, it just chills. It's got Phasma, the FOTP. But yeah, not impressed. I am not impressed.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I have not watched all of Epic Fails' videos, and I'm sure there's more content in there. But at the moment, it's nowhere near. It's not an easy to use one.
Okay.
Where a Qui-Gon Jinn or a Wampa are easy to use, this one needs so much more calculations and math, which is not my strong point.
All right.
It depends what you're going against.
Yeah, it's not
like if you're doing that premium, sure. Especially right now because we don't have it all worked out and we've never seen it in 5s. I think if we had it in 5s first and understood exactly how the team and the mechanics roll around, it would be a little easier in 3s. So yeah, it's a gamble. I mean,
I have a question, Epic Fails. At the end of your videos, do you have a TLDR single page that I can read, that I can just follow? Or
all right, you two get a goddamn room about FOTP. Jesus Christ.
No, but I've been tracking my mods for
all right, said the spreadsheet.
I'm not tracking mods. I'm not
percentages, how much I get, all that stuff.
Oh
like if anybody wants it, it's on a Google Doc. I can.
Okay, we're moving on. All right, get a room. God damn it, just moving on. Let's see here. Okay, that one's for Warrior. We'll wait till Scissorman gets back here. Oh, that's a Heli question. Oh God. You know, Heli next didn't even waste time, man. As soon as Warrior came back, he was like, "Oh, I gotta ask. He's gotta get what? He's gotta pop the Heli cherry for Warrior. Warrior, there you are. Oh, well, Helenix, our most famous Greek SWGOH player, likes to give us crazy questions. This one is actually not crazy. He says, for the Scissorman, it's great to see you here, Warrior. You weren't on last week's Jedi Academy, so I wanted to ask your opinion as well. What are your 3 favorite and least favorite Omicrons? Welcome to Halley's world.
Yeah, my top 2 favorite territory war Omicrons are probably Jahani and what's her face? It goes with EP Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mara Jade and her. Those are top two in my opinion for territory wars. I mean, Phasma would probably be up there in the top three. It's good. And then for Grand Arena, I mean, Wampa is amazing. Qui-Gon is good, but it's just dirty. You lose a lot of points. So I'm not a super fan of losing points in Grand Arena, but it can take a lot out. But I love Wampa. And then Star Killer there's one that's really phenomenal. The other two are trash. So I did the one that's necessary for him on Territory Wars. And the other two are about dispelling or cleansing, and those are not critical.
No, they're just nice to have.
Yeah, they're nice to have if you have, insane amount or something. I don't know. But those are probably my top two in each of them. Wampa.
But what's your least favorite on TW and GAC? At least one.
Well, I'll tell you what my least favorite one is. You know how when Zetas first came out and we got all excited, so we Zeted characters. Mm-hmm. Back then, I Zeted First Order TIE Pilot, and I thought, ooh, that's going to be awesome. And everybody's like, you wasted a Zeta on that? Well, I did the same thing when Amis came out. I got really excited. I had an Omicron. I was like, couldn't wait. And I was like, I've got all these stupid Phoenix at like Relic 5 for ships.
Oh, no.
And I was like, Hera has one, and this is going to be a great Grand Arena one.
Oh, no.
Like, man, this is an awesome Grand Arena one. I popped it, and then I was like, wait, what does that say? And it's this Territory Wars. And I'm like, oh my God, we're never going to use them in Territory Wars ever. So I literally put an Omicron on Hera that will never be used ever. Well, I can't say that. They'll, in 3 years, they'll try to make that team relevant again.
Maybe, who knows?
Do something like, I don't know. So I've wasted 20 pieces, one Omicron, which is so painful at this state.
To her with Zetas, before they gave you the thing, do you really want to do this? I was just doing upper leadership or whatever it was, and it went straight to Zetas when we didn't have that many, and I was like, oh no!
Oh God!
Yeah, it didn't ask us, and you would just go clack. Oops.
Oh.
Yeah, now I give a PSA about Omicrons and GIC. I want to make a video, but I'm not good at videos yet. But one day I'll get it out there. I keep on seeing people put it in 3v3s, Qui-Gon, Omicron lead. I get the mace, but they don't put Jedi Knight Anakin. Please, people, for the love of Star Wars.
You need Jedi Anakin. The other one can be kind of... Cam's really, really badass with that. Mace or somebody else, you can even go alien there and just,
But please make sure the other one is Galactic Republic as well. Please don't give me another Jedi. Has to be Galactic Republic Jedi, please. It's a nice PSA.
Don't put Ezra in there. You just basically just nuked everything about that team. That
also, some people put Wamba on defense. Guy.
Don't do that. No.
Especially with two other people. They have the Omicron too sometimes. No, please, people, don't. Just a PSA, please.
All right. Let's see here. Sean McCronner says, question, could you guys rank Inquisitor's Zetas? God, do we want to? Do we care? I have them all just simply because I'm just going for the Grand Inquisitor event and I'm trying to get them up and running. I could care less.
How about better yet, we talk about which one of them's a better lead and why?
That's a better question. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean?
Yeah. What do you think, Warrior? Because boy,
I'm pulling up Inquisitors now on my phone.
I mean, I like Fifth Brother a lot.
So Seventh Sister is a phenomenal leader, and Fifth Brother is a phenomenal leader, and I would say Seventh Sister is one of the best leads for 5v5. And the reason is all of the evasion gives them health and protection. So let me see what it says. Empire allies get evasion. Whenever they evade, they recover health and protection. It just makes them durable. Plus they get advantage, so they're guaranteed crits. So I like Seventh Sister in a 5v5 situation. In 3v3, I noticed I didn't get a hold, but I put Fifth Brother in the hold or in the lead, and I've gotten holds. And he gives them all extra 35% extra health and 35% extra defense, which is a lot of health and defense. And then he's got lots of retribution and stuff. And so I I really like.
Yeah, those two are tops for me too. I mean,
fifth brother. Yeah, and really, the truth is, seventh sister, or fifth brother. Oh my God,
yes.
Ninth sister, seventh sister, and fifth brother are the best. Eighth brother and second sister are second sister for the ship, and then eighth brother is the turd.
I don't use them. Just you keep them stealth, and then just forget about it. Right?
I have a full house. Where do I claim my prize?
What do you mean?
I was crossing off the numbers, and I've got a full house on my bingo ticket.
I'm gonna punch you.
Okay, sorry. I'll mute myself. Okay.
What did I say? Get a room, go over the numbers, and then you. Well, you have to keep it simple. We just want the Quib Note version for Aldous, which doesn't make sense. You're a scientist. Get the hell out of here, Aldous. Pretend like you.
No, but I think
you look at that stuff all day long, man. Come on, you know how to read all that data and stuff. Get out of here.
Dude, but it's kind of boring.
Get out of here, use. All right, Fatality V2 question. If Relic 10 drops, do you think it'll be needed for the next GLs? Oh, God, why would you say that? Well,
9 will be for sure, but...
Yeah, I think we're going to get 2 to 4 9s on that. I think this next GL, whichever it is, bare minimum, you may get a couple Relic 5s. It's going to be 7 to 9 on the rest of this shit. I just think we're in for some pain, folks. I don't know how you feel, guys, but I just have a bad feeling about this.
5+ and tons of 8s.
Which technically makes them worse characters, because the truth is the first GLs you could get them with Relic 3s, Relic 5s, and they're still competing with all the other GLs, where these GLs, like Lord Vader, you have to have like Relic 9 everything in that team for it to be competitive, and even then you still lose.
Right.
So it's like really? So if you took it down to Relic 3 to 5, those teams are absolute turds. And the only thing that bunks that is JMK, because he's good at any Relic level. He's just amazing, that team, with all the bonus protection and durability. I don't know, man. It just seems like they make them not as good, but then they make you have more Relic levels for the money. So apples to apples, they're not quite as good.
No, it's, oh boy. So,
Can I say something about the Inquisitors?
Yes,
I have 0 Zetas, 0 leaderships, and for my boy, all the sisters are 69s.
All right, get out of here, you. Get out of here. Get a room. All right, Darth Big Docs' question, is it time to shift into Horde mode for new GLs this summer? It's dependent on, 1, are you going for Grand Inquisitor, and 2, are you going for Darth Malgus? I think you might want to work on him if you can get him, because he's going to be a phenomenal character. But if you want to horde, but I'm not. I mean, I know I'm going to get Grand Inquisitor and Darth Malgus. I know Darth Malgus is going to be really nasty. If they announce a GL, okay. As I said, it's probably going to be a bunch of Relic 9s. I'm not going to be able to just jump right to it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll go through everybody here. I mean, like, would you want to horde for GL, or do you want to just continue working on what's coming out? I've always had that mentality.
I have 14,000 energy saved right now.
Okay, that's a lot of energy.
I try to always build 3 of every piece of gear that exists at Relic or Gear 12. So I have 3 of each one. And I won't spend it on relics. I won't spend it on stupid characters that are at the bottom of my roster just to fill. And so the left and right I have a bunch of, at least 3 of everything constructed. And if not, I start to construct them in my off time. That's what I use my extra energy for. I go through the stores and buy what I need to build them as well. Okay. And so, yes, I'm hoarding for other characters. I try to keep 60 pieces of Amis available and 120 Zetas, but unfortunately I'm at like 95 Zeta and I'm at like 30 Amis. And the reason for that was there's been a couple of really important Amis that we had to do, not because we had to, but because we had to, you know what I mean? Like It's necessary. And Jahani's one of them, man. Jahani on defense and territory wars is just disgusting. It was really, really good. The other guild did the same thing. We did it, they did it. And we both guilds got stuck on that node for like 5 or 6 hours. It was ridiculous. So it's definitely
was that Jahani with the Star Killer team?
Yes.
With Mara Jade Omni on there too, I'm betting. Yeah, that's why it makes it so sick.
It's just gross. So sometimes you do things for the betterment of the guild because you're a team player, and so that has cut in a little bit into my that I do. I hoard
surplus.
at this point. Yeah, and the reason why is because I'm not gonna, when something new comes out, I'm not gonna spend an arm and a leg to get something. I know I might spend $100 for some crystals a month, maybe if that, and I don't even do that always. So I can buy characters or ships out of the shipments instead of waiting for their farming. So
I do that too. I don't do Swevens anymore. I've had my fill of,
Yeah.
of those packs. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
Plus, they give you so long. I mean, 3 of the 5 Inquisitors are already farmable, like on a node kind of thing or whatever. And it's like,
actually
holy
4 of them
crap.
are. The only one left is Fifth Brother. He's the only one that's not farmable.
So there
now.
you go. And you can get him in crystals for 80, a shard in crystals or whatever. And it's like, if you're going to do that, then why would you buy all the expensive packs where they're $120 crystals I don't know.
It does. Swevens make me vomitous. They really, oh my God. All right. What else? Another question. How many different new things or updates do you think will be announced next week? We got the title update. I'm predicting is going to be coming no later than the 5th. Well, but they have to get it in before the next conquest starts, right? What do we think? What do you guys think? Like the big things you think are going to be in announcements and stuff. I mean,
I think it'll be light. I think it'll be light.
Okay. What do you think will be in there? Like 1 or 2 things or all this?
Okay, so I think my reasoning is I don't think Mr. Crumness is back. So without him being there, I don't think they want to kind of talk about Datacrons, talk about Inquisitor kits, talk about all the things coming. So I think it will be a little bit light, and I don't blame them for that, because without Mr. Crumness, we are not in a space where they're going to want to kind of write a very important post.
He should be back. I'm pretty sure he's off paternity leave.
Okay. Well, I don't know. For some reason, he doesn't talk to me. It could be because I call him Mr. Crumness. But
God.
So I actually think it'll be, because if he's only just back, I don't think either they've been quiet because they've been working on this because they want to make it big, which I'd love. So I think we're definitely going to get the Grand Inquisitor kit. I think the Grand Inquisitor kit has been retweaked since the beta program ended, and I think they've done a tweak to it. I think it's going to be a lot better. I know, but I think it's going to be a lot better than people expected.
We hope. I pray it is, man.
And I think that will be quite a big. I think that'll be quite a big thing. So I do think. I think we'll see the Grand Inquisitor kit. I think we'll see talk of Datacrons, potentially, and I think we'll see maybe the launch of Datacrons a week later before the thing. So I think we'll see it. I think we'll see it next week. But I don't think it will announce a lot of things going forward, because I think Mr. Crumness will want to get his feet under the table. And we might see in maybe 2 or 3 months' time, we might see a more global kind of long-ranging thing where they talk about hopefully Endor Leia, hopefully celebrating Return of the Jedi 40 years, and more stuff about the Old Republic and KOTOR. And so I think this one might be a light one, but I'll give them a light one this time because of Mr. Crumness being away.
Mr. Crumness. All right. Well, we do have a road ahead, and I'm still 50-50 on which GL they're going to announce. I still think it's either going to be Leia, but I'm starting to push that one back to next year. I think Revan Reborn is on my radar. Just the little tea leaves we read. Just going to Warrior. Well, anything you think we're going to get before this title update announcements? Maybe road ahead, or 1 or 2 things you think are coming?
So if you look at the past, they are really good about kind of pacing what comes out. They're working on projects every time, and they're like 2 or 3 projects, and this one comes out, and the next month this one comes out, and occasionally they get bottlenecked because stuff is a little more complicated than they expected initially, and it gets bottlenecked up. And then when they get it all, they are like, okay, well, this is the last 6 months we've been working on, we need to get that out. So they just kind of push it, and sometimes we feel like we have a massive update with tons of stuff. And I think that's what's going to happen, is there's going to be a huge everything that should have come out in the last 6 months, instead of just characters, we're going to get this huge push of all the things they've been working on that they were hoping to get out in Q1, hoping to get out in part of Q2 and haven't. And so it's actually their Q2 and 3, but, and then, boom, we'll have a bunch of it, because at the end of the day, they're moving on to the next projects and stuff. So they're already, I guarantee some of the teams are already working on what they're going to try to release in Q3 for us. So
That makes sense. Yeah.
they can't hold it and just wait to release. They need to get that stuff in the game, because there was a timeline and they're already late, because there's no way they went 6 months without having something strategically planned over these 6 months. And when have they ever released 5 characters over 6 months and made them farmable for an important character? So
I don't think I can ever remember that.
So they're behind. And if they're behind, that means that we're going to get a dump. If they were ahead, we probably wouldn't. But because we're behind, we're going to get a dump. I have a feeling it'll be a slight bit overwhelming to some people, which will be their fault. But
hey, it wouldn't be the first time we had a big dump of stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny because we'll go without weeks without stuff, and then all of a sudden, bam! You're like, Jesus Christ! Look at all this crap! Like, oh my God! All right, Epic. 1 or 2 things you think might be coming up, buddy?
It depends if I trust them or I don't trust them. And back to Warrior's point, it is interesting though how they did Star Killer though. They made it really, there wasn't a lot, and then all of a sudden they put all those characters nicely into Cantina. Except for the one, Mara Jade, which I'm still trying to grind out to finish her. But, so they have done it like that too. If I don't trust them, I feel it's not much. But if I trust them, there are breadcrumbs. Why are they pushing everything back? Like, it's weird. They're pushing Conquest back. They're pushing GAC back. Like, it almost seems like they're clearing for something. Like, to update these things too, along with it, to either add stuff, take it away, or move it around a little bit. On the character front, I hope, I'm a huge Old Republic fanboy, played all the games, love all the stuff. I really hope finally that Nihilus stuff comes in, his capital ship, maybe some stuff to flesh it out. Because it is weird, we got Shorty, however you want to pronounce it.
Shorty girl.
Yeah, Shorty girl. And there hasn't really been anything around it, but it's another Old Republic character to do some stuff. So, you have to kind of sniff around that one going forward as well. If I got a pipe out to smoke it, I would love that they would put a raid in at Death Star like everybody and get us Red 5 and some other stuff that we could really use to kind of and some more ships for fleets to round out the 2 that are just sitting there neglected. But that, that's probably putting way too much.
I know. Well, we'll see. There's a little bit of faith there. We'll see what happens. So, all right, Andrew's on a question. How long until CG cranks up the monetization too high that a lot of people drop the game because it gets unrealistic?
Relic 10, if 9 and 8 don't get a little easier.
If they don't, I think we're at a crossroads right now. Relic 8 and 9 are a pain in the ass. I mean, up to Relic 7, it's reasonable. It's kind of sucky once you get to 5, 6, and 7, but it's reasonable. The Zimbiddles and stuff are okay to try to take care of.
One of the biggest problems they have now is that because I don't do TW, I cannot get Relic 9. So they have not added Relic 9 to my game yet.
They got to expand it.
And therefore, the problem is they can add Relic 20 to the game, but if it's gated by Relic 9, they still haven't added me Relic 9. So, so it's pointless. I think a lot of people were saying, by all means, add Relic 10, 12 to the game, and then I can relic all the Relic 9s I don't have. The fact is that Relic 9 has not been adopted the way they expected. It has not grown the way that Relic 7, Relic 8, I would have said had. And therefore, if they gate Relic 10, which you have to behind Relic 9, the engagement's going to be so low. Sorry.
Well, even Relic 8's are
do problem. It because, it will break guilds. And this is what I'm afraid of with 10 and the other thing. Because of the way they set it up, there's no other way to get it but win TW with a high-end guild. So if they start, and this is, I think, part of their problem, and maybe this is part of the updates and why they push stuff back. Like, if you get 10 without specifically fixing 9, what's going to happen to guilds? Even those guilds that are losing are going to lose their top-end players, if you know what I mean. Like, I can just tell you, I left the guild I started, and I started as a lark when guilds first came in. just to kind of do it and stuff and have fun. But I had to join Ranger in the MC. I'm in MC6 Australia. Shout out. Because I needed to get hard Rancor gone. And I talked to you, and I saw so many people leaving fun mid-level guilds we were up to almost 200, 220, but we still couldn't do hard Rancor, and that fractured guilds. And now, if these players can't get to 9, and it's really bad because what's the disparity of win or loss? 5-1? Like, this is gonna, man, it's gonna explode guilds again. It gives me a headache.
Yeah, it's not the first time that this has been a thing that's happened, but until they address Relic, until they address the Relic 8 and Relic 9 problem, I think they've got to have to expand it, and not just the right side. There's the one piece that you need that you can get from the events, but the other ones, that's salvage, baby. That you're either buying it with crystals. Yep. Or you're salvaging it, and that's brutal.
And even if you're a topper, higher in guild, like in the top 50, and you're able to get 5 or 1 of those pieces, 5 for a win and 1 for loss. The way that they do the gauntlet, you do 2 tougher guilds and 2 easier guilds. That's how they do it. You do 4 or whatever, and they do 2 and 2. And so what happens is you get 5, 5, and then you get 1 and 1. So you get 12 in a month. 12 in a month doesn't even do 1 character a month. No. We have 232 characters or whatever in the game. So you need 2 months to get 1 character to Relic 9. That is gated, and that's only people that are in those higher in guilds that even get 5-1. So yeah, it's silly, but they do that on purpose. And by the way, they actually encourage guild breakups and encourage that splitting of stuff. You guys see that as a problem. They see that as a solution. They see that players that are serious are getting more serious with more serious players, and the more casuals that don't care or say they don't care can either die or go off and create their own superficial fun guilds that don't compete. And they when addressed, they've actually flat out said, that's the game. It's like sink or swim kind of thing, and that's the way we want it. We want guilds at the top to get stronger, and this helps that to happen. And for other people who don't care, it doesn't matter whether you have it or not, right? So who cares? What they don't realize is they're fracturing friendships, even though they're virtual, and that makes people decide they want to quit because they're like, well, I only cared about hanging out with those 3 people. They're gone, so I don't care, because they're already casual to begin with. So quitting for them is much easier. And if they were spending $50 a month, that's just that much less. I know it's not the tip of the spear, but it's silly.
It adds up. But the thing that they have to understand about this game is that it's the community aspect that makes this game also quite enjoyable, right? You hit the nail right on the head there. I mean, even if you do join a guild, and it makes it tough. Like Epic was talking about, you get to know these people and stuff. But if you're somewhat competitive spender and you're leaping ahead, we've all been there where you're like, okay, I love playing with these folks, but if I want to take the next step, I got to move on. And it makes it really difficult. So yeah, I think they need to take the community aspect in this more. All right, one more.
We talked a little bit about I would not encourage anyone to actually spend in this game at the moment or wail for something, because if you are wailing for something, the way that GAC matchmaking is now, you'll just be punched in the head by someone that wailed the same that you did. So send me $1,000, I'll punch you in the head.
All right, get the hell out of here.
That will save. I will send you half of that back.
Oh my God.
But that is the problem. Their GAC matchmaking now has meant that it doesn't matter how much you spend, you'll still be punched on the head by someone that spends more than you. And unless you're the one guy at the very, 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 very top who spent the most ever or been the best, or however it works, there's no incentive. So you might currently be the 200th best player in the world and think, you know what? If I just spend $1,000 in this next thing, I will be the best. No, you won't. You will still be punched in the head. You send me $1,000 or Rangers man $1,000 and send him $1,000 and he'll punch you in the head. That's the way the GSE matchmaking is working now. Just enjoy the game, love what you have, and hug your loved ones.
Well, I think you just got to be smart spending, right? It's not just unless you plan on being like the top 0.0001%. and I'm not talking just characters and relic levels. I'm talking huge investment in mods too, right? Especially if you're a newer player working your way up, because I've seen many accounts that have really good relics and characters and stuff that are just fantastic, but they get ahead of their mods, and people forget that if you're not going to work on the mods, the reason that I can punch up, and a lot of you see the content creators punch up in weight, like a good example is Calvin Awesome. I do it, and he does it a lot. He has way less. All this you just said you just punch.
No, I am 8.2 million, and I am punching people at 9 million, 9.1, 9.3. I'm punching up.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Something's going wrong with my.
I get punched.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to be realistic about it. For me, it's like I climb it to a certain point. Like this week, I may go over 3, but it's not. I don't look at it as like for me, and it's not that it's not fun. I'm having great battles and great stuff, but it's just I'm outclassed. There's only so much you can do. Like for me, I've got the mod advantage, but they've got the relic advantage. So every team that they're putting down, at these ridiculous GP levels is like relic 7 to 9. It makes it really difficult. And they've got really good mods too. I may have the advantage.
Yeah,
mods,
I don't set anything unless it's relic 7 or above. It's really crazy at my level. You have to, and that makes up for some mods and stuff. So
my point was more around enjoy the game, enjoy where you are. Fun. Don't strive for something that you don't think that when you get to that, if it's not going to get any better. Just enjoy where you are. Love your little characters. Love your G8, Kira Nest, whatever. Love what you have. Use it great. Learn it, and just love a great game, which is a great game.
No, I think you can. There are packs out there I've talked about that, like the 1999 one that's got all the energy and stuff. There are packs that are, for me, worth it. There are just certain packs.
Oh, sorry, we're doing the CG ad. Oh, sorry. Okay, what's my line ranger? You didn't tell me.
Punch in the head. No, there are packs that are just garbage that you should never buy, and then there are some that you're kind of on the fence about. But there are some decent packs that you can get. But you have to be. Why are you buying it? And does it, progress you to where you want to be? Right. I mean, a lot of times people, for me, it's either to finish a character off or just help with the project that I'm on. That's what I mainly look at when I'm buying something, but I've got to have the value there. If I don't see the value, I don't care, whatever the cost, is there value? Like we always talk about the hyperdrive bundle. That is a phenomenal value for the price. It is ridiculous. But then you get to that light speed bundle for the same price, and you look at it, you're like, hell to the mother effing no, am I ever going to buy that, right? Or would I recommend that? So, yeah, you have to be smart about, don't just spend to spend. Be smart about your spending. If you're smart about your spending, you can actually get more cost-effective value out of what you're spending on. Some people just have the discretionary income, and it don't matter. They just I am not one of them. I gotta be choosy about that. And I know like Warrior's got some decent discretionary income, but I know that he's very much about the value and what he's getting.
Yeah, I've really, really toned it back. I think last month the only thing that I found value in was the $15 pack to slice mods.
Yeah.
Both of those, that's $30, and then the $100 pack that gives you 20 Amis because it's a full Ami for a character, and it can change the course permanently of your ease of playing in either Territorial Wars or Grand Arena. Like you put on Wampa. Now I've got a Wampa that there's 10 different teams I can easily solo. So the stress level goes down, the enjoyment goes up. And so, 130, I think is what I spent last month. And I didn't even have to get the Ami pack. You know what I mean? That's not a requirement. It's just, it made it more enjoyable. And I do have discretionary income, but outside of that Ami pack, it would have been $60 because that $15 pack comes around twice in a month. So it's 30 the first time and 30 the second time, and $60 is about all I need to spend because mods are the most important part of the game. And I've got a lot, but I need to slice them. So I got to make them better than they are because some of them are turds and you got to make them shinier. So those are really the only packs I see value in. Outside of that, All the
Sorry,
like
mate,
Zeta packs are trash now because Zetas,
Yeah.
you get a ton. You know, I get like 6 Zeta a month or whatever. It's ridiculous. So because I can get so many of everything else, they're not needed. And the relic things, I can farm all the relic stuff over time. I just have to not be relicing things. So I have to just choose really carefully who I'm throwing up and who I'm saving for. So really, they've actually encouraged me to not spend because of the gating that they've been doing.
The Inquisitor packs that gave you 125 shards for $20 were pretty decent if you don't already have them. So those were kind of good.
Yeah, there are
But,
some. Yeah, there are some packs, but I mean, like we've talked about, like the this 12.99 crystal is 5 to 330, and 98% of the time you're gonna see me banging my head against the wall, rolling Swevens, and worse 5. That's even worse than getting the Swevens, so that's even a bigger kick in the balls. I just won't buy. I just won't do it anymore. It's a waste of $300. It's ridiculous. So, and I think Warrior's right. I'd rather wait a couple weeks, get a vault, and then just slowly farm the hell out of the character. And just be patient. You can still get the character quick. You just don't. The 300. It's ridiculous. I can't recommend it. That's why we do this stuff on stream for you guys, so you can see what not to do. Don't do it. It's horrible. All right, we'll do one more question, then we gotta start wrapping this up here. I know there's some questions we didn't get to today, but we've had pretty much a really good discussion on a lot of the topics. So, Qui-Gon Jinn, this is a really good question. Do you think that the TW Omicrons might be a better investment for large accounts that are more casual in GAC? The difference between GAC rewards for top 500 versus, the 4,000 level is not that large. There's no difference whatsoever. It's I get the same crystals in for a loss or win as Aldous, Warrior, and anybody else in Kyber 1. So. But 900 crystals is still 900 crystals. So I mean, trying to win is kind of important for me. I mean, it does add up quickly. I mean, last couple weeks I've been 3-0 and stuff like that. That's a lot of crystals. Not gonna lie. 900, 900, and 750. That's a nice little chunk that helped me get the Inquisitors to 7 stars. Not gonna lie, but there really is no difference. I don't know. I always, for me, I like a lot of the TW Omicrons. I've still not put one on, because I'm so focused on GAC, because there's just so many crystals in that thing. It's just, for me, it's 900 adds up quickly.
So because of the way they do the gauntlet, where you have 2 teams that are going to be tougher than you and 2 teams that are going to be weaker than you, you're going to win some, lose some, and that's every guild in the world. I mean, if you're losing all of yours, right, you're a sucky guild, you should win some when you're punching down, and everyone punches down and everyone punches up. That's just kind of how it works. Well, everyone except for maybe like one guild. But outside of that, everyone has 2 easier battles, 2 tougher battles. So territory wars really doesn't matter. But because I'm in one of the top 3 guilds in the world, I do 50-50. Yeah, I do 50-50 out of respect for my guild and my placement there and all of that. I appreciate being able to get insane amount of rewards from all the, things that takes people forever to do. We 15 minutes and the Rancor raid is over. And I like getting in the top 5 or top 10 of that and getting those rewards. So I do 50-50, half goes to Grand Arena, half goes to Territory Wars. And I honestly don't care about either of them. They're both fun to me and I enjoy both of them. So I'm going to do them equally. But if you were in any, like a 400 million or less guild, I would probably do all Grand Arena if it was me, just because you're going to win some, you're going to lose some in Territory Wars. It's not going to become, dependent on your
one account. Yeah.
Yeah. It really doesn't.
It's got to be a full guild investment on Omnis, right, to make that really stick, right? If you're going to, and I've seen at the top guilds, like when they make a choice, that's like they're all in, and that's something that you will face. Like you just talked about Juhani, those upper guilds are like, yes, sir, everybody do that, because that's just the nature of how they do it. So when it's piecemeal like that, it's just, there's some, I've seen some in there. It's like 1 or 2 here have a Mary Jade, or they'll have a Phasma that'll be mixed in. It's not consistent. So it's easy to get around those teams, right? Especially in TW, because the meta ain't shifted at all on TW. You're going to face the same stupid walls every single time. It's just a matter of which ones they want to put down. It's a Rey wall. It's a Grievous wall. It's a Darth Revan wall. It's just with maybe a team or two mixed in, but even if you put I put 10 teams down on offense total, and I still have plenty of stuff in the tank to go fight anything that's on the board. So I don't know. And you only do it 4 times a month. That's the thing that's crazy, is that we only use those 4 times a month as compared to GAC where it's 12, so and if you're not in a guild that's getting the Relic 9, it's the rewards are but at least with GAC, the other stuff that you're getting. So I don't know. I don't think there's a wrong answer on this one, guys. If you want to do TWs, I'm okay with that. If you want to do GAC, I'm okay with that too. I think there are really good ones in both sides. It's just what you're trying to focus in on. So, there's more questions. Unfortunately, guys, we usually just go 2 hours here. I'd love to do all the questions. I did skip some silly questions. Pastries. Get out of here.
Can I give a quick answer to this one?
Yeah, go ahead for it. Go.
So as MC6 Down Under, we don't require any of it, and we're casual on TW. So our omnis are very random. More and more people have put the Phasma, and so we have half a wall, and that actually does stop people. It's funny because at the lower levels, if you don't fight them, you don't realize how they work. So 1 or 2 can stop people. Like GL, that's thrown in there amongst many Padmes or something like that. So it is interesting in that. But going back to the spending and wrapping this all around, I would say now you want to spend early if you're a young account. Get the hyperdrive, get to 85 as fast as possible, because you don't really need to spend in the mid game once you get into GAC, because your crystal income will fuel almost all the stuff you need, except for maybe random, like you're saying, crystal pack and stuff. Because if you're serious about it, you're going to rise the ranks and jump even better accounts who aren't really playing and stuff. So in that thing, it's kind of funny now. You kind of want to spend at the beginning and at the end. If you're really going to spend, you don't need it that much. Because when I win a GAC, I get 750 crystals off every win, which is just crazy. Besides the 220 every single day, I was getting nowhere near that income. It's nuts now. That's probably the best change that's happened in a while. So, that's just, but I say go hard in GAC omnis. That gets your crystals, is going to fuel your account. That's, unless you really need those droid brains like we've been talking about. GAC all the way, baby.
All right, we'll end on this. Rogue 613 says, is it true that Rangers' least favorite vegetables are leeks? No, the answer we were looking for, Rogue, was broccoli. Yeah, broccoli was the answer we were looking for on that one. So I do hate me some leeks, though. All that work I did, gone. It sucks. Well said there, Rogue. Well done there, laddie. All right, we're going to let everybody pimp their stuff and get on out of here so they can enjoy their weekend. You can thank these guys for being here and answering your questions and entertaining you guys for the last couple hours by simply going to their channel once they are pimped and just show them some love. Simple little things like watching a video, hitting the thumbs up on a video. It just makes the world of difference for a content creator. So if you could please do that, I would be very appreciative. Do the same thing for our channel, but especially for these guys. They come here on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, wherever they are in the world. And they, on their own time, just to help you guys answer your questions or make your SWGOH experience a little bit better. So show some love and go watch the stuff. I guarantee you'll find some really good stuff there. We'll start from the top and work our way down. Aldous, the best sandfly in the Alda Beach. Where can we find you?
Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch. We streamed to over 100 people this morning, so you got your early about 9 hours ago. So I'm in the UK, so it is very, very late UK, very, very late US time. And on YouTube, excitingly, we're up to 57 subscribers. So we have 100 people watching me live on Twitch and only 57 people subscribe on YouTube. This is terrible. Please fix this.
I'm just gonna have to pimp it a little bit better there. That's all I got.
Well, I will try.
Come on, you gotta pimp it. Yeah, go pimp
I
it.
try. Okay.
Gotta
Follow
pimp
me
harder,
follow me
baby.
on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. We have the greatest episodic thing. What is going on with Aldi and the Sandfly?
See?
Please, just click on my name and there's a subscriber button.
Oh my
let's get
God.
over 57. It'll be
Is that
awesome.
Slave Leia there?
Someone
'Cause
just
I'm
get him
on.
to 58 so he can be
Give me
quiet.
50. Okay, yeah, but
Someone-
come join the bait. Come join the island. We love you all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love SWGOH. We are a positive space on Twitch. I don't push monetization ever.
You should.
So
You're not
never,
pimping. Got a pimp?
never come to my channel. Honestly, never subscribe to my channel. Never give money.
Are you trying to reverse psychology? All right, finish your spiel, dude. I got other folks here.
Okay. Well, I know, but please come to Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch. We do not push monetization. Yeah, come say hi.
But if you're there, wink, subscribe to that channel. You should, guys. Check out
the other thing. Oh, sorry, I do apologize. This week I coded the Death Star raid. 100% Twitch playable game where you can actually play the Death Star raid on my channel. Where the first phase, you scream down the trench and you have to spot a name.
Stay on target.
Stay on target. This is it. And the second stage, you've got to switch off your visual scanners and trust in the Force, and you have to guess a number between 1 and 40. And if you guess the number correctly, you blow up Death Star. It is an incredible game. It is gorgeous. It's coded through Blender, Streamer bots, and OBS. People that understand those understand. But if you want to play Death Star Raid, Death Star Raid is incredible. It's a brand new game. I've coded it on my channel.
Okay, we'll go check that out. See, then that's what you call pimping.
The world's longest advert.
I'm going to punch you. Stop it. Where can folks check you out at? Jesus.
So I do have to get out of here, but I appreciate you
we always
having me on as always.
Yes.
And
How are you?
yeah, so I am on Twitch. The last 2 videos I did on Twitch that I move over to YouTube afterwards. On YouTube, I am now actually putting timestamps that you can actually zip through now, name timestamps. I know that was a big thing for a lot of people. They stop watching because they're like, listen, man, it's an hour and a half long. Like, where the hell is all the timestamps? It's just a lot of work. But I've decided it is a lot of work, especially when you're doing a GAC where you have to put in 22 timestamps. You have to type out who and versus and what and win or loss. And it's a nightmare, but it's like, the people watching, whoever is there, is going to benefit greatly from it. So I decided, since I don't do tons of videos, I only did 2 in the last week. I'm going to go ahead and timestamp my stuff on YouTube. So that's a really nice change and add. YouTube is supposed to be where when you double tap to the right, instead of just going 10 seconds, when you have the chapters, when you click double tap, it just takes you to the next chapter. So you can just double tap, next battle, double tap, next battle, double tap, next battle. And you get to skip through all the chatty Cathy stuff that you may not want to watch or stuff. So anyway, you can catch me there and there. And then I talk on Twitch or Twitter all the time. I'm on Twitter every single day. So if you want to, socialize with me, I'm at Warrior Present there. So you guys have a wonderful day.
I like the chatty stuff. Story time with the Warrior, man. Come on.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a time card for that. So if that's all you want to see is story time, you can zip to the story time card.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate you always on here, man. And hope you can get the time to be on here more, man. Everybody loves Warrior. So and check out the channel. All right, Epic Fails. Where can folks check you out, my friend?
Well, I just subscribed to Sandflies.
So there's the subscribe you're looking for. There you go.
Yep. I am on YouTube at Epic Fails. I do terrible iPhone videos right now. I'm working on getting. I'll get with Ranger to get some real gear and do some real stuff eventually.
I just need a laptop and OBS, baby. That's all you need.
Yeah, I know, but mine's like AP Games. It's kind of a potato. So, but we're all
potatoes.
Yeah. You probably should watch AP Games stuff more than my stuff, but it is there if you want to see it. And I do have a lot of womping and failing and first order TIE Pilot, Omni. I mean, that's probably the best stuff if you want to check it out. I lurk in a lot of live streams, especially AP Games. I help them with some
good old chalky milk.
Yeah, good old chalky milk. Yeah,
I haven't had time to. I see it because I see his streams come up all the time. I just haven't have the time to go hang out with the Hobbit here lately. I'll have to make some time for that. All right, so check that out, and then Thane, you sneaky turd, when did you get here?
I've been here all along.
You're a liar. I've been. Be honest. How long have you been here?
I don't know. A few minutes.
Okay, minutes. Okay, I was like, when did you get in here, you turkey? What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Well, we're at the end of the stream. Thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, I just woke up.
That makes a lot of sense, West Coaster. Anything you want to shout out or say before we get out of here, my friend?
No. I mean,
Words of wisdom or anything like that?
Bad things happen when you get to see.
Well, there you go. And he would know. He has a Relic 9C. All right, on that word of wisdom, thanks to Aldous Warrior, Epic, and, of course, the fourth Okage thing, Kyrellus, Maximus, Decimus, Meridius. And to all you out there in TV land, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Good conversations, good topics. With that, we're going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and the panel, thank you guys for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. You deserve it. You've been working hard all week. So enjoy your time with your family, whoever, games, whatever it is you do. Just enjoy the time now. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and we will holler at you later.